Hello and welcome to the Ranksters, episode number 18. I'm Adrian. Got Gore here, got Matt here. Three-person Ranksters, first time ever. Who
We
got
kicked
voted
Kyle
out?
out. He's done.
There you go. He got
There
voted
you
out of
go.
the island.
Excommunicado.
Him and Samuel just
Yeah.
David, we're coming for you next.
David, you better watch your ass.
Just the essentials this week.
Yeah.
Wait. Actually, hold on. Wait, go back to last week. Was it or no? Who was it? You, Matt? There last week, or was it the week prior?
No, I think it was David and Kyle, right?
No, so there was a week last week. Matt was on. He was like, "Just cut out the fat. Just cut out Kyle. Cut out Samuel." So hey, Matt, you got your wish.
Working my way up. It's gonna be a solo show by me pretty soon.
And one of them has a lot of fat to cut. So
it's gonna be me doing this show once a month, and that's gonna be it.
And it's gonna slowly turn to shitcast one week.
Everything's enough.
There you go. Yeah.
Go to YouTube, search up shitcast if you're looking for a good time. Is it still up there?
Don't do that.
I'm sure it's there somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere in the ether.
Archive.org or whatever.
This week we're doing we're gonna keep it kind of short and simple, hopefully. We say that now. Who knows? We're gonna do MCU movies. We don't have any Disney haters on there.
Yeah. For some reason, this looks like...
This looks like 4 of them.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13,
no,
14,
I'm pretty sure
15,
it is.
16, 17, 18, 19, 21, 2, 23.
Yeah.
Huh.
That looks like nothing.
Yeah.
That looks like, I could binge this in a night.
Sure.
Easy peasy.
Easy peasy. All right. Wait, hold on. He has to swallow first. All right, now we're good. There you go. Wait, hold on. He's got salivate and
Let's get this bread, King.
Let's get this party started. I say let's do this in release order, so we're not gonna do it in whatever order they have on here.
So Iron Man, where are you at? There he is, all the way to the bottom right.
All right, well, Iron Man. Let's talk about it. I rewatched Iron Man again about a month ago. Still a fantastic movie. It shows its age a little bit, especially when you add MySpace references and then flip phones and everything, but still fantastic.
It's a period piece.
Yeah.
Just think of it like that. There you go. Fine. The only thing I don't like is like now watching it. We watched it last year? Was that last year or a year before?
Year before.
We were doing like our year before. Just the special effects don't hold up. Is really
and the nighttime and all that. Also, not the movie's fault, but Terrence Howard being Rhodey in there is so jarring now, just because it doesn't make sense anymore. But I mean, it's not a fault of the movie. I'm just pointing it out.
Yeah. I get you.
Still awesome though.
Yeah, it just like it ends with him going next time. Like nope. Sorry, you shouldn't have asked for so much.
Yeah, you got too cocky, bro.
Revolutionary movie, still one of the best ones. I still love it when he busts out in that OG suit and when he's in that cave.
Yeah, that's good shit.
I really wish in hindsight that the dude that he saved in the cave was because they had a deleted scene. They had a deleted scene in Endgame. When they get the Soul Stone or whatever, they're like, "Oh no!"
Yeah, you see him.
Yeah, you see another person. I was hoping that would have been it because it was his daughter, like an older version of his daughter. They pulled out like for someone, and they cut the whole scene because they realized it wasn't good. I was hoping, it would have been worth it if they had him. They pulled out that last deep cut.
Would have been cool.
Yeah. But they got what's her name from 13 Reasons Why. They cast her, and then they filmed the whole scene, and then they cut it from the movie.
It was just a weird scene. Have you seen it?
Yeah, I've seen it. It's weird.
Yeah, it's really weird.
Yeah, and it's almost pointless because then you see that scene, and then
the tribute scene.
And then
they had another
scene. Is corny as fuck, but it fits a movie like Endgame, which has a lot of corny moments.
Yeah, they had the kneeling scene too for him.
Yeah, the kneeling. That's what I meant. The kneeling scene.
Yeah, that was too overkill.
I think it was fine.
It was, but I mean, I get why.
I don't have a problem with that. Honestly.
Sure, we'll talk about Endgame at the end. But Iron Man.
A.
Yeah, I'd stick with A. Matt.
That's what I gave it back then.
Yeah.
And this will obviously be in order too.
It's just unfortunate Iron Man came out that year because it was like not even that year, that summer, because it was 2 months before Dark Knight, and it was just like, like Iron Man did well, everybody loved it, and then Dark Knight came out and just fucking blew everyone's minds, and it was just like, oh, Iron Man was fun, but that Dark Knight though.
Hey, what lasted though,
Well, Dark Knight Cinematic
Dark
Universe
Knight's still pretty
would be weird.
impactful, but
yeah, no, Dark Knight is way better than every one of these movies.
So, yeah, but
I would say way better. Is that way?
Shake your head.
No.
I wouldn't better.
I wouldn't say way. I say better for sure, but I wouldn't say like way better because there's a couple on here that I really love.
A lot of these movies are fun thrill rides, and I love them. I really do. But the Dark Knight is not that. Dark Knight is a legit story that's very well handled, and
I think
some of these movies are better than The Dark Knight Rises. I'll say that.
I think Logan is better than all of these movies too.
I love Logan. I can watch that movie any day. Same thing with The Dark Knight. Like about 80% of these movies, I'll be like, do I want to watch that right now?
Whenever I hate life enough to watch all the X-Men movies, we'll rank all the X-Men movies.
That's okay. You don't need to do that. Just watch the first two. Watch the Wolverine. Watch Days of Future Past, and then Logan. Skip like 5 of them.
Yeah,
there's like 5 of them you should skip.
Yeah. All right. Next up, The Incredible Hulk. Shit movie.
Yeah, no, it's not great.
At the time, it was cool. I think still, even though people like it.
It was really bad at the time. At the time, it was fine.
And it was cool. Like, it was cool really getting that link. When you finally got confirmation, it's like, oh shit, all these are gonna start linking together. When you got
with Tony Stark at the end.
Yeah.
One thing that this movie at the time was really cool. Like it was just that we didn't have a Hulk movie that was like a Hulk movie that you would expect, because that Hulk one that came out in 2003, there was a lot of like he would fight here and there and he'd get angry, but a lot of times he'd be like sad, and we're like, what the fuck is this? This ain't Hulk. And this one, like the first time you see him, he's fucking people up. Like,
which was the one with the sad walking away music?
Oh, that's the show, right? That's usually how the show ends, right? Where he's like do 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 do, and he's like trying to hitchhike or whatever. You talk about that? It might be in one of the
fucking minds.
It might, honestly,
it might be in your mind too.
That might be true, but that also might have happened in 2003, because 2003, if you remember that Hulk movie, like it would have like these comic book scenes where like one panel would be this one scene and then the other panel would be this other scene. It's just like it was like way too much. It was way too
I remember watching that, and like I feel like it turned like there was like 5 times where he was dreaming and he woke up.
Right,
and I was like 8, and I was like, okay, this is way too confusing for me. I gotta stop.
Right. I gotta stop. It's
like let me show you Inception. Yeah,
the real Inception. But, I'd say it's not very good.
Ultimately, 0% consequence. Well, 3% consequence because you get what's his name in it.
If the movie did better, I'm sure it would have more of a consequence, but it didn't. The only thing you have is Thunderbolt Ross.
Yeah, he's the only thing that came back from it. The love interest in the movie.
Ross?
Yeah, Abomination didn't show up. The actor didn't show up. They got a whole other actor.
Yeah,
most skippable in this.
Whenever the last replay I did earlier this year and the one I'm doing now, we just skip Hulk.
Yeah, you don't need to watch it.
Especially because I think it's a little more confusing just knowing that it's an actor change. And
it also just doesn't feel like it fits. Like Iron Man still kind of fits because it has more of the humor that you expect. Now everything's like over the top goofy at times. Where like you look at Iron Man 1, it's still funny. It has funny moments, obviously, but it's not over the top goofy. So like
they all. I mean, a lot of these movies feel kind of like the same movie to me, which is like they're so much the same, like stylistically and tonally, that it's kind of a fault for me at this point. Felt like, but
I felt like right when Iron Man 2 came out, that's when it started. Everything started to feel very similar. Like right there, it was just like Iron Man 2 is not great. We'll talk about that in a second. But
this is the one I'll say do not like watching. I think it's one of the worst. I straight up put it in D. I will not rewatch this movie ever.
Yeah, I can ride with that.
Sure, that's fine. I would say low C, but yeah, because there's some good stuff in it. But
it's not the worst movie I've ever seen, but there's just no point in rewatching it.
I like the Abomination. I like Tim Roth, who was just like this fucking dude that was just like, I'm a soldier guy. Fuck this whole guy. That was the villain. He's just like, I'm Soldier Man. I hate him.
All right,
that's it.
Iron Man 2.
Yeah, C, low C.
Boring.
Honestly, very boring. And you know what? This is the point where I'm just like, I don't really like Tony Stark. I really don't. Like in the first movie, he redeems himself at the end. At the beginning, you don't like him really, but he redeems himself.
But then he regressed right away.
Yeah, immediately he's a dick again. I'm like, whatever. And then he has that dumbass party scene and shit.
That's the weird thing about
I hate that
about Tony Stark in the MCU is they go very comic book with it, where it's like they just revert things right away. Remember at the end of Iron Man 3, like, oh, I'm blowing up all these suits, and then
yeah.
Then Avengers comes by, he's like, nah, I just have more or whatever.
Yeah, and then Thor Ragnarok, like, I have one missing eye and fucking whatever.
Next movie,
and then the next movie, he's like, oh,
in.
just shove that shit right in there. Oh, there you go.
Literal
2
one.
eyes. It literally didn't matter. Like, oh, my hammer's gone. Oh, I got a bigger one. Like, it's fuck. Like,
yeah, it was like what Thor's best friends, and then they just get killed in the first 2 seconds of Ragnarok, and then they just never mentioned ever again.
To be fair, I thought that was funny.
Yeah, I think so too. Iron Man, I agree. Iron Man 2 is a C.
Yeah, has some good moments. I thought War Machine stuff's good.
Just to be clear, we're all Team Captain America, not Iron Man, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, just we're all on the same page.
I do. The most thing I appreciate about Iron Man 2 is why am I blanking on the actor name for Rhodey now?
Which one?
The new one.
Don Cheadle.
Okay, I didn't know which one you meant.
I like his his first line in the movie, because it's sort of like a fourth wall breaking one. Yeah. It's the look,
just like, don't worry about it.
I'm here. Don't worry about it. Let's keep going.
Yeah, let's keep going.
Oh, that was cute. All right.
Yeah.
Next up is Thor. Stinky.
I don't think it's bad. It has good moments.
It's such an awkward representation of a New Mexico city, by the way. Just like, it's a small little town in the middle of nowhere, but just like filled with white people. It's like, that's not how it'd be here.
Right.
Speaking from experience being around here.
Okay.
But it just doesn't make sense. Like, it's New Mexico. I'm like, I tell people that, and then we watch, and it's like, that's not New Mexico. Sure. What the fuck?
I mean, sure. I mean, I don't think giant robots and Norse gods show up in New Mexico.
No, I know, but just setting wise, it didn't even make sense. Why I mention that?
Sure.
But
I get you. They needed somewhere where there was a desert.
Yeah, that's actually why.
That's why.
If they said Arizona, it would have been like, I wouldn't even mention this.
It would be cool if they just said, fuck it. It's in a city and there's a hammer there. Everybody's like, what the fuck? It's just like, they're in like a park and everybody's like, what? They should just did that. And then there's a big battle in a city. Like,
sort of kind of like how Ragnarok was to be in the city for a little bit, and they just cut that out.
Oh, yeah. And then they cut it out and green screened it or whatever.
Yeah.
Very, very strange.
You
could tell, too.
Oh, wait. If for instance haven't seen it, I thought it looked a little boring. Do you recommend it for Iron Man 2? Iron Man 2, I still recommend you watch it.
Yeah, Iron Man 2.
I mean, if you're watching the whole thing, you need to watch it. But like,
it's gotta watch it.
If you're watching the MCU, even the ones I rate low, only one I say skip is Hulk. Everything else watch. Thor 1 is a C for is a low C for Green Super Flash. I agree.
I would say just regular C.
Yeah, just to see.
I put low C.
That's some good moments.
That's the wrong Thor.
That's the dark.
No, that one's going lower.
No, that was a D. But
let's see, where's Thor?
It's right bottom left, right next to Captain America, Winter Soldier.
All right. Our boy Cap. I think this movie is super underrated.
This movie grew on me.
I love this. I love the old-fashioned feel of this movie. I love it.
I didn't like it when I first saw it, but it's grown on me over the years. And Captain America, best Avenger by far. So
hell yeah.
I'm very partial to all things Captain America.
Such good shots, though.
He's the only traditional hero of the Avengers. Like, everybody else saves people, don't get me wrong, but it always feels like it's there to be cool. Besides where Captain America, when he saves people, he's there to save people.
He's doing his job.
He's doing his job, man. He's a soldier.
He's the man. Like,
he's the man.
God, that shot when he comes out just fucking ripped. Oh, dude.
Oh yeah. Woo! Everybody was like, yo,
everyone
Thor boy
was wet.
That Thor boy. Yeah, that Thor boy. I was. That Thor boy. Ooh, he's chunky. And then like 2 months later, fucking Chris Evans come out of that pod. And it's great because you see him skinny, shitty. Just terrible.
Which, by the way, the way they shot that.
Oh yeah, that's great special effects.
Nuts.
Really good.
They do every scene twice and just like put his face on.
Oh yeah, the biggest pecs on a man I've ever seen in my life are when he comes out of that fucking pod.
He's all wet.
Just 2 bazookas on his chest.
He's all wet and shit. I'm like, Human Torch?
He turned girls into women and boys into men, all united in that theater in that one shot.
Yeah, you thought 50 Shades was the first time a theater was completely wet? Nah.
Gore was just stretched.
I was look.
I like it too, and then it has a natural love interest in it, you know, which doesn't feel forced.
Yeah, she's great. And then that because this is like, when it comes to characters, this movie is the one that actually has an important, like something important in it that keeps coming back later on in the series, and that's Peggy. Every time. I'm sorry.
His relationship with Bucky too. Like, I mean, this movie, too. I mean, lays the foundation for his character extremely well.
Civil War, Winter Soldier,
through the rest of the series. Yeah,
yeah. And Iron Man, you can't say that. Like Iron Man, when Obadiah Stane is dead, that's just it. And fucking, he don't even mention his ass. Hammer, he's done. You know,
Tony Stark never talks about being in that fucking cave in the Middle East. Like,
right. I think he mentions it sometime, like here and there, like just like.
But
whenever
everything
I got out of a cave, whatever.
Yeah, everything in this
everything
movie,
of consequence happens. Yeah,
shapes him for the rest of the series and is extremely important.
And I think nothing describes Cap more than that scene when they first show off, like why'd you pick him? And they just throw the live grenade and everyone else runs away, and Cap's just like right on on it. I'm like,
I can do this all. I can do this all day.
Dude, that line is so fucking.
And they bring that back in Endgame. That line survives
the entire series.
Yeah, like 20 other movies, and comes
from his first to his last movies. It just kept going, and it's such a good line too. And
so that's why I think, like, when it comes to this, all the multiple series in this one series, I guess, because I guess the Marvel movies are just one series. This is probably my favorite one. I love Thor 3, but not enough to.
And its consequence, it has the first. Was it the first Infinity Stone? I forget if Thor has to deal with it or not.
No, Thor does, because it's Loki's staff, right?
Oh, right.
Or it doesn't steal at the end of Thor.
Yeah, because Loki's staff takes place in Avengers.
Because it's a Tesseract, right?
Yeah.
In Thor 1, and then he steals it. So I guess they don't have to deal with it, but it's there. But yeah, I guess the first time someone has to deal with it. Wait, was it the Tesseract? It was something. They had something. Whatever. I don't give a shit. Dumbass gems. But yeah. So.
But I think it's so underrated from everyone.
I think it's very
solid
underrated.
movie.
I would still go B though.
I go A. I really enjoy it. I remember like having like this debate in my brain after watching it. And that music was playing. They had like the Uncle Sam fucking credits and stuff. I was like, that might be my favorite one so far. I really enjoyed that one. I'd say just A.
I put very low A.
Okay.
So
I loved it. I really enjoyed it. Like, the only problem I could see having with it is that there's a montage that kind of like gets through his career a little too quick. Sure. Like him just like, doing Captain America stuff in a montage. It's like, I don't kind of want to see that, but that's fine.
Crazy Everybody says Tony Stark built this in a cave.
In a cave with spare parts or whatever.
Hey, that part kind of comes back, right? Because they bring that out with Spider-Man.
Yeah, Spider-Man. Well, that part.
Yeah.
Yeah, that part does with fucking what's his name from A Christmas Story.
Yeah.
Oh, I will say Red Skull's kind of lame though.
I loved him. Oh, I thought the makeup was so good too. Dude, when fucking Hugo Weaving ripped off his face and it's fucking like, it was like, oh, that looks so good. That looked great. And then the rest of the movie, he had that on. Hey, yo, shout out to Hugo Weaving. I bet that makeup sucked.
Also, his buddies were awesome in that movie.
Oh yeah, they were great. The Howling Commandos.
It took me like 10 minutes of talking about this movie to even remember the Red Skull, though.
Like, you know what? It's awesome when a movie is good. We don't even need to talk about the villain.
I thought the villain was good though. Yeah. I really liked it. The only thing I didn't like about the villain was that the confrontation at the end was kind of weak. Because it's just like, I'm here, Red Skull. He's like, and he shoots at him a little bit, and then he touches the fucking Tesseract, and then he zips out of there.
I'm out.
And that's about it. And then you don't see him for another like 10 years.
As someone else.
Pretty much somebody else. Yeah, they get the fucking dude from Walking Dead to play him.
Yeah.
Like, all right.
All right. Next movie is Avengers. Marvel's The Avengers.
Yep, I remember seeing this day one in some fucking theater, like 30 minutes away, with a bunch of my schoolboys.
Yeah, explain as someone who was not in the zeitgeist at the time. Explain how that was going in.
Packed theater, fucking packed. The most packed I've seen a theater in a long time at the time. Because I mean, theaters now get packed. Well, theaters don't get packed at all now, but theaters. Most movies nowadays around here packed theaters, but that was crazy. Everyone was there. It was like fucking shoulder to shoulder. My fat ass just like, all right, 2.5 hour movie, let's go. And it was a great experience. Everybody was cheering and laughing and stuff. Not too loud, not too crazy. But it was a good time. That movie is really fun. That is just a fun movie. There's nothing to it really, and even though it does introduce Thanos, it doesn't have a lot to do with what happens in the future. Like, sure, Thanos mentions like, you failed me once, Loki. That's about it though. Like, you don't need to exactly watch Avengers.
If it wasn't for them coming back to that scene in Endgame, the Avengers 1 would be kind of irrelevant. But it was cool bringing everyone together though.
Yeah, and tying it up like that, even tying the Dark World, which we'll get into, is like, all right, I guess that's mandatory watch now.
Yeah, so it made a reason to watch that again. April says, "Hi B, saw this as a kid, and it was pretty good. Saw the poster."
Yeah, that's fine. You know what? The only thing I have a problem with this is, I mean, we just talked about my boy Cap. He's kind of sidelined throughout most of this movie, which is a little, and his suit looks so fucking stupid, and they make fun of it in Endgame. His suit looks like pajamas. Like it's bad. It's really bad. And I remember even in the theater, every time Captain America was on screen, you'd hear chuckles in the audience, and I'm like, his suit looked terrible. Every one of his suits look better when they let the boy show his face, though. I will say that, because his helmet always looks stupid.
It's so corny, but it's it's kind of the charm of it to it a little bit, though.
Yeah, I mean, my favorite costume for Cap is still the first Avenger one. I love that one. I think that one looks so cool. But and that's why they even bring it back. They bring it back in Winter Soldier towards the end of that movie. I'm like, yeah, there it is. But yeah, it's a great fun movie. I give it a low A, because I think some of it doesn't hold up that well anymore. I watched it I think right before Infinity War came out again. Whenever we did our recap thing. I think that was right before Infinity War.
If you guys want like in-depth talk about that, I go through the Marvel MCU for the first time on the early Not Another Movie podcast episodes. It's pretty much that podcast was at the beginning. We just did a quick recap of every Marvel movie.
At first it was the Greatest Showman cast. We just kept talking about Greatest Showman. It's cringe, but whatever.
Yeah, it was a good movie though.
Well, not really. It was a fun movie.
But we go through we go through my first impressions of it, and Gore's just like recap of it essentially.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'll give it a low A.
Talk about this movie. You haven't talked yet.
I don't know. It didn't. I didn't really get the hype when this came out. Like, until a certain movie that's probably coming up here in a second came out. Like, I was not like the biggest MCU guy. I liked the first Iron Man, but I was kind of lukewarm on most of them. And I thought it was good. Like, it was a fun movie, but it didn't blow me away or anything. And it still doesn't, really. Like, I've grown to appreciate it a little bit more, as I have with Captain America 1. But I would still give it like a B.
I agree with Superflash in the chat. Says Avengers 1 is still a hype movie, and I agree on Cap's ugly costume. Hell no face.
Hell no.
Yeah, it's very flashy for the sake of, oh, look, everyone's together. Hell yeah. Sure. So it doesn't really, as we mentioned. Well, it has some consequence. Like, it really gave Tony Stark that PTSD that he sort of has just going forward.
Yeah, and they bring that in Iron Man 3, and of course, like in Civil War. Like,
he just never gets rid of that.
He's more guilted in Civil War to do it because of that one woman that shows up and said, "My son died." I'm like, all right, sorry, my bad.
And yeah, setting up Loki and all that stuff. So I mean, it does have some consequence, but really only that battle. Like, a lot of the inner stuff doesn't really come back to it.
No, I guess Tony and Cap battling out kind of does in Age of Ultron, and
but Thor doesn't even have anything to do with it, really.
Thor is just like, they're like foolish mortals, or whatever. Like, he says that a bunch, and then he fights Loki, and then
Thor is really not fun in this movie either. That's just
Yeah, he has a couple moments where he's like he's adopted. Like, I don't know, that's a couple of funny moments.
The eyebrows. So we never talked about those.
He doesn't get good until Ragnarok.
Remember those eyebrows? Never forget.
The what?
The eyebrows.
What eyebrows?
Dyed eyebrows for Hemsworth. They dyed his eyebrows blonde.
Oh, okay.
You remember that?
Didn't even notice.
Oh, he looks trash. If you actually noticed that.
I don't know.
I put it at high B, I think.
Okay.
And Matt, what did you say he was ranking?
B for me. I mean,
so B.
Yeah.
I think I liked it more on first watch, but I can only watch like the really like pinnacle scenes, like the group up scene, the circle one. Like that's an iconic one, but everything else I can skip.
All right, next classic right here.
Iron Man 3.
Oh yeah. All right, Iron Man 3, the movie that made everybody pissed.
I didn't hate this as much as everybody else did.
Oh no, I didn't.
To be honest,
it was
like
just
kind of fun.
It was fun. The trailer really made it. I showed Adrian this when we did the not in our movie podcast, but the trailer made it seem like it was really going to be dramatic. Like it's just it's the next one after Avengers and the Mandarin. Like, whoo, Mandarin's going to be a badass villain. and then it was a practical joke. An hour later, he's farting and fucking falling down and shit.
Slipping on banana peels.
Banana peels.
So yeah,
I
watched this. I watched this without the knowledge of that of the trailer. So I watched it and I was like, that was pretty good. I actually had a good time. And
yeah, I still think it's pretty good.
Chris was like, what the fuck? Well, I mean, he was kind of surprised at how much I did enjoy that. And I was like, why? He's like, well, let me show you the I think we did a live reaction of the trailer too on the podcast. And I was like, oh no, I could see why. Because the tone is very much like, I can't believe all that stuff happened in New York, and it changed me forever.
It changed me forever, and now there's a terrorist out there, and he's blowing shit up.
And they got emotional shots of the house.
Yeah, the Iron Man suit's going crazy, and I'm carrying my Iron Man suit with me in the snow. I'm all alone.
The shot in the house is getting broken apart, and you're like, damn, this is a crazy ass movie.
Yeah, man. And then
he throws away all his suits at the end, and then gets them all back somehow without explaining it.
Yeah, like the last scene is actually kind of cool with all the suits, but it so logistically doesn't make sense to me. Like they've done a better job of understanding like why. Like I always thought watching Iron Man 3, I'm like, why the fuck doesn't like Captain America or someone show up and be like, hey Tony, you all right, man? You okay? I some crazy stuff going on, but no one checks in on him, and. They do better later on because they have like people kind of like shifted in and out. They're like, oh, Rhodey's here for this, or Falcon's there for that one.
Yeah, Black Widow's what Cap in the next movie.
Yeah, so it makes sense, but logistically, that's what always kind of threw my head.
It always made sense with some of the side characters because they're always doing shit like Black Widow. Like, why is Black Widow not in 3? It's because she's doing some missions.
Right.
She's just a person.
But no one showed up for Tony after this.
Yeah, no one showed. Well, yeah, because no one likes him. That's why. Even Sam Jackson's on this one, right?
Yeah, no. Green Super Flash says any movie that starts with Eiffel 65's blue is an automatic. That's true. It does start with Eiffel 65. I forgot.
It's a fun movie. It really is. But like. If you thought it was gonna be a serious movie, or even like semi-serious, and then you watch the first 5 minutes and you have like Guy Pearce like nerd makeup and shit, I'm like, all right.
People were not happy about Mandarin in hindsight, though. Is that there?
Mandarin was fucking ridiculous, and they're bringing him back, obviously, a real Mandarin.
Yeah, they knew they had to repent for that one.
Shang-Chi, right?
Yeah, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings or whatever it was called.
10 rings because he has the rings.
Yeah.
I don't know what amount of rings, but there's.
It's rings.
10. It's 10.
But they knew that they had to repent for that one.
Yep.
It still was fun though. I still enjoyed it. I put it at low B, I think.
I would do B.
Yeah, I'd do that too. B's fun. I mean, it's better than 2.
Yes.
That's for sure. It's right there. Yeah. There you go.
All right.
All right, Captain, right? Or is it Thor? Fuck, shit. Can we just skip Thor?
Thor.
This kind of sucks.
This is the one you were talking about, Matt. The one that really got you into the MCU, right? You
said... this is the one. Not the next one.
Not quite.
The next movie. This one.
Thor: The Dark World is such a not good movie.
Such a not good movie.
I was playing this part of the MCU marathon. I had it playing in the car. I just didn't even want to listen to it. I was just so over it and so bored. The villains suck. The enemies suck.
The villains are the worst. Like the villains, the Malekith or whatever.
Malekith, yeah.
The lame or whatever the fuck his name is. Like he
Dark
sucks
Elves.
ass.
The Dark Elves,
yeah. Malekith is the worst.
The best part of Dark World is the 4 seconds Chris Evans is in it.
That's true. Where he has like Loki transforms into him, it's good, and they even bring that. Well, there you go. It's another thing that comes back later. Loki does that again in Endgame.
Yeah,
but it's just a boring. At the time, I was like, fine. I like the portal stuff at the end. It was all right. I kind of liked it, and then like watching it again, I was just like, yeah, that was fucking boring. I hate Kat Dennings in it. She's so fucking annoying. Like,
yeah, I forget Kat Dennings was in the fucking MCU.
Get ready for it. Right? She's gonna be in WandaVision.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, that's great. I can't wait. I'm glad that we're not seeing that this year. No.
So Crazy Hurry says D for Thor 2 is terrible, more boring than Hulk. Green Seer Flash, Thor the Dookie World.
The Dookie World.
No, this movie really
stinky world.
This movie was really boring. I know it had a lot of issues like going in because they swapped directors, and that pissed off what's her name?
Yeah, because it's the guy that directed like some of the good episodes of Game of Thrones at the time,
which you could tell right with the tone of that movie.
Right in the beginning, they have like a battle that's very similar to like a Game of Thrones battle.
Right.
Like, well, all right. I mean, it looks good, I guess.
But what's her name? Who's the one that plays Thor's love interest? I forget her name already.
Natalie Portman.
Yeah, they pissed her off because they had a female director and they swapped directors and that pissed her off. That's why she stopped showing up and she didn't show up in Ragnarok.
Who is it supposed to be? Because
let me check.
Yeah, honestly, if it was gonna be this trash, then that female director kind of dodged the bullet.
Let me check.
I want this on my resume.
But
because after this movie, the guy that directed Thor Ragnarok did that next that next Terminator movie. I'm like, ugh. And then after that, I think he did another piece of shit movie. I'm like, yeah, that guy is just.
Oh, Patty Jenkins was supposed to do it.
Oh well, there you go, perfect. She did Wonder Woman later, so
yeah. So
it was a way better.
I like how Disney loses a director and they always go back to DC.
Yeah.
James Gunn's like, all right, fuck, you don't want me, DC will have me, fuck it.
That's weird. I guess that explains why Patty Jenkins didn't make any movies for like 10 years. It was like a 10-year gap between Wonder Woman and her last movie.
Yeah, so she was gonna do that, and then Natalie Portman was pissed. That's why at the end, the final like scene where Thor shows up, you see them both kiss. They use Chris Hemsworth's actual wife stepping in for that because
his wife's Natalie Portman.
Natalie Portman refused to show up on set.
Wait, who's Natalie Portman?
Funny.
Wait, who's Matt? I mean, who's Matt? What'd you say, Matt? Who's Matt? What did you say,
Matt? I don't even remember.
My bad.
Yeah. Anyway, rest in peace, Thor: The Dark World. You'll never
this
be
movie
watched.
Sucks. This is D. This is straight D.
You'll never be watched again.
Now, is it worse or better than Hulk?
Better. Who cares?
I think worse because Incredible Hulk has some cool action. I can't think of besides the portal, like the portal scene in Dark World. No, not the portal scene in Endgame. There's a part where they keep going through portals. I'm like, that's a good idea. I don't remember anything being.
I dread
Incredible Hulk when he fucking picked up that car and turned it into boxing gloves like in the fucking video game. I was like, yo, let's fucking go. And they beat the fuck out of Abomination. I'm like, all right, that's better.
Every time I think of an MCU rewatch, I dread the idea of when I hit. There's a weird little bump right there with Iron Man 3 and not that I'm down to watch Iron Man 3, but between Iron Man 3 and Thor: The Dark World, I'm like, fuck, these are gonna be two little movies in between a bit of a rough patch.
I think worse than Incredible Hulk, and also I think Incredible Hulk's shorter. So, and also has that cool ass Tony Stark thing at the end. Oh, perfect. Next two movies have to be an S, so this could be like very even right now. Two in each.
What's the one after this? Oh, okay, I know.
With the soldier, right? Or is there something else?
Yeah, when I did not like read reviews or even see trailers for this movie. I'm like, oh, I was just bored. I'm like, I guess go see the new fucking Captain America. Like, who cares? And I was like, this movie is Kino when I was watching it. Like, when you get to that first fight scene and like,
oh, it's so good.
Because none of these movies up until this have good fights. Like, they're all like overly CG'd, like robos going pew pew or just lame. But this movie, like, kicked it up a notch. It's like an awesome standalone spy thriller in its own right.
Yeah, it's
fucking
really good.
Awesome fight scenes. A great emotionally charged relationship between Cap and Bucky that pays off really well in the end in that final climax. That fight he has with Bucky where he's in that hoodie in the street.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, come on.
Talk about moments that got me wet. When fucking Bucky flipped that knife in the sky and then caught it and then fucking like started going like attacking Cap again, I was like, yo. It's like,
oh yeah. This movie fucking rocks.
It's it's an espionage movie, and there's one of the most classic scenes in the whole MCU is the elevator scene.
Oh yeah, elevator.
Oh yeah, fucking all-time awesome action movie scene.
And then he flips that fucking shield when he kick flips it and fucking grabs it. I was like, oh.
Yeah, I was expecting this movie to be lame as fuck when I walked in and saw it because I thought like most of the movies before were lame, but this movie rocked my socks off.
And this is the first movie to have the Russos. This is their first.
Yeah, they did so well. They're like, hey, fuck it, give everything to them. Fuck it.
Give them everything. Civil War and the next two Avengers. Fuck it. After Age of Ultron.
This is the helicopter scene, right? Was the hottest scene in the MCU?
Where, when he grabbed it.
When he grabs the helicopter, he just has that full flex, and then he grabs it like this, and then he shifts his hand.
He quickly fucking shifts his hand,
and you just see full bicep. You're like, what a fucking Thor's not a god. Chris Evans is a fucking god right now.
The only thing that would have made it better if he was wearing a tighter shirt.
Or no shirt.
no shirt.
Tighter shirt, and when he like flexes,
it rips.
Oh, amazing! The real Hulk. They don't even just paint his ass green.
See, this is why I like when people are like, oh, people sexualize the women too much in there. Yeah, but the guys too.
Right? Oh, the Mandalorian has boob armor. Like, yeah, have you seen Cap? He's got chesticles.
I wish he had no armor.
Yeah, I wish he had nothing.
I wish just his chest was cut out of his armor, so it was just his exposed pecs.
Hell yeah, he doesn't need armor.
You just see him flexing as he's
helmet and no shirt.
Dude, it's such a good movie, and yeah, it's really nice payoff with Bucky. It shows how far the relationship is. And I love the beginning with was it in here? Was this On Your Left?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good scene. That's another one that comes back.
Fucking is introduced to us On Your Left, and then they bring that back.
He just gets pissed. Don't say it. Don't say it. Don't say it. On your left.
On your left, like motherfucker.
Yeah, no. When Russos were talking about when they were making Endgame, they're like, all right, so what's the essential watching? Like, we know obviously watching the whole thing, but what's the essential watching? They mentioned Winter Soldier is the essential watching for Endgame, and that makes sense too. So much payoff in this.
Even like at the end with Bucky and stuff, just like one last. Like, yo, man, what did he say? We'll get to that.
You're bringing all this stupid with you.
Yeah, bringing
that was on the first. That was in the first movie, though.
Yeah, that was in the first movie, but still, you have to. Did they not say Captain America: First Avengers is essential watching? Because
Winter Soldier, they definitely
said. Really, I think First Avengers should.
No, I agree, but they were like condensing it, like what movies, like what for sure.
All the Captain America movies for sure, especially Civil War.
And it was good. We'll talk about it in a little bit, but it's good that Endgame was sort of the Cap's movie because Infinity War definitely wasn't.
Yeah,
but
Iron Man 1.
But yeah, no, S tier, 100% S tier.
S tier, best in the franchise movie, in my opinion.
Me too. That's still my favorite. I made a list last year, and it's still number one. So
the best standalone too.
Everything else will not be an S tier though.
Yeah, best standalone too.
All right, next up.
If you had to show them to one person,
Guardians.
Yeah, anybody can watch. You can watch this movie at any point, even if you haven't watched any of the other ones. And
I agree.
Good.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
I love this one.
And also that Winter Soldier is the one I was thinking of when you say Dark Knight's way better. It's like I think I can.
I think Dark Knight's still way better.
Way better than but way better. I mean, it's better, but not like I don't know if I'd put like.
Dark Knight doesn't really need to still rely on any universe though, which Cap still does a little bit, but
sure.
This is my third favorite superhero movie. I think
it's in my top 5. It's in my top 5. I don't even consider Dark Knight a superhero movie. Like it's just like I don't know. It's just so grounded. Like Logan 2 almost, even though it has some goofy moments. It's just like I don't know. Like it's just the superhero genre itself is so goofy inherently that when it's so serious, that's just like, this ain't a superhero movie.
Why so serious?
It's like, yeah, why so serious? Yeah, exactly. Guess the movie.
All right, Guardians of the Galaxy.
A tier. Really funny. Really enjoy this movie. I could watch this any day. Watch it 3 times in theaters. Had a great time every time. Really fun. Great characters. Love the interactions between all of them. And it's a fun movie. I'm sure I'm the only one who thinks that the way you guys are looking though. I think
I've got a hot take coming up.
But... Okay. Oh, okay. So okay.
You want to? Well, I'll talk about it really quick. Is that this is my second ever MCU movie I had watched behind Hulk.
Yeah.
And I never really understood the hype around it the first time I watched it. I was like, oh, that was a movie.
I don't think there was that much hype. It was like one of those where the hype happened right when it came out. It was just like right when it came out. I got that recommended to
me by everyone. Everyone's like, oh, you gotta watch
right when it
Guardians.
Came out, right? I'm assuming right when it came out because people weren't really hyping it up. I think reviews may have came out early and saying it was fucking great.
No, I watched it. I watched it on DVD or Blu-ray later on.
Okay, yeah. I was talking about like when it came out, the hype was there.
Like,
right. That's when the hype started because nobody knew what the fuck this was, and the trailers didn't really. They did an okay job, but it was just like, what the fuck is a tree dude or a raccoon? I don't fucking know. And yeah. Anyway, good.
But yeah, I didn't really understand the hype. I was like, oh, it was a good movie, I guess. It wasn't like the greatest, but then when I rewatched the MCU, I understood why people liked it so much, and that it was a different turn for the MCU. That's when I appreciate
some of the best visuals, I think.
Yeah, I appreciate for how different it was and how much of like they went out of left field with it, you know.
Groot is still my favorite CG character in this entire series. Like
original
I love Professor Hulk. Original, yeah, no, fuck that. No, we're talking about original good Groot. Like, no, I'm just talking about like the way it looks too. The special effects on Groot look great, and Raccoon also the fur. Yeah, that's hard to do. So credit, but just Groot, I love.
God, it's such an awesome ending though when he covers everyone up.
We are Groot. So good, so good, so all right, fucking
Matt,
good.
Give us your hot take.
And the soundtrack.
It's not that hot. My hot take is that I like the second one more, but this
I like the second one too.
I was a little. Yeah, I didn't get the hype. Really, when I first saw it, I was like, "Oh, that was okay." But this movie, like Captain America 1, has grown on me over the years. But I'm still a B.
Okay, fine with me. A, B.
Yeah, I'll put that B.
Close enough. What? Fuck a hater. Alright, fine.
Above or below Avengers?
I like
above.
Yeah, I like it more than Avengers now. I still like Avengers though.
So. All right, Age of Ultron.
Oh, that's right, Age of Ultron. I thought it was nice.
I don't like this movie that much. This movie has maybe like some of the most obnoxious product placement in a movie I've ever seen.
Yeah, pretty obnoxious. Well, you've never seen an Adam Sandler movie, have you?
Yeah, I guess that's true. But
Jack and Jill, boy.
Yeah, the funniest part to me is when they're all like gearing up to fight Ultron at the end, and you're seeing them all like. You see Thor grab the hammer, you see Cap grab the shield, and then you see Quicksilver, whatever the fuck his name is, grab a pair of Adidas, just with the Adidas logo. Like, oh, fuck
some Terminator shit.
Yeah, and the love story between Hulk and Black Widow is really stupid and bad forced.
I hated that. I really did. Like, people were liking it at the time. I was like, really?
That was awful.
Like, first of all, Mark Ruffalo is like 50, and fucking Scarlett Johansson at the time was like in her early 30s.
Let's be real.
It's not that weird, but it's just like fucking.
There was no chemistry on there with either.
There was none. There's no chemistry in the original
movie. It came out of nowhere.
And which felt weird too, because remember Hulk had a love interest in the first movie, which just made
Black Widow should not. I feel like Black Widow should just be, a badass woman. She doesn't need to be have a love interest.
She was there, like hanging on to Cap too.
Hell yeah, I understand that.
But Cap's heart's in the 40s, baby. She's got no chance.
She likes buff dudes.
She likes old dudes.
Buff old dudes, yeah, I guess so.
So
she could be hanging out with that Don't Breathe guy next.
Someone mentioned this to me, and it's kind of interesting going into it. Is that Age of Ultron is really the last time you see everyone hanging out together in like a jolly old fashion, Is that after this movie, everything kind of goes to hell and just constant chaos. But like this is like the last time you get that like scene where they're all hanging out, like trying to lift Cap's or Thor's hammer.
To be fair, it's like the only time you ever see them hang out. really. I mean, I guess Civil War, there's a little bit in the beginning, not hanging out, but they're doing like missions. So it's like, all right, they're working together.
But like not like sans work. Like this is really like one of the only times there. And yeah, like the hammer scene I think is awesome.
Yeah,
that was fun.
They to the point where Square Enix had to rip it off later.
And I
shout outs.
When I was talking about like these movies having kind of shitty fight scenes before Captain America Winter Soldier, this is one where it's just a lot of like CG flying around fighting like kind of lame CG robots with lame CG lasers, and it just doesn't do much for me.
There's one awesome scene though at the end in the city when they're like when all that robots are showing up and they're attacking them and stuff. They have that one shot like that slow motion, everybody's doing shit, and you see Cap like do a fucking sweet ass flip. I was like, that's the highlight right there. You get to see Cap do a sweet flip.
I want that diorama, dude.
And also, I thought the Hawkeye stuff was fun. Was family? I thought that was cute.
We all thought he was going to die in that movie.
Yeah, and then when you find out he had a family, I'm just like, oh, he's definitely dead.
Oh, he's fucked. And then it's Quicksilver.
And then Endgame, you're like, oh, he's definitely going to take the sacrifice, right? Like, no.
This definitely felt, ironically, it felt like what the Avengers Square Enix game took from. Just like, oh, here's just fighting a bunch of like nameless things that had no personality to them. As opposed to like Infinity War, where the aliens felt like fucking threats. These are just like robots.
Yeah, they're like animals.
They're like these are like fucking space aliens. I want to eat you, and these are robots, whatever.
Yeah.
Because it's like you think of like Thor fighting like aliens that like are pretty big versus Thor, the God of Thunder, fighting robots. Like, I don't know, it felt kind of lame.
Like, yeah, and just like. In the video game, Thor makes quick. Well, actually, I never played the video game. I did, but like, yeah, in the movie, he just like destroys the robots. I'm like, hey, am I supposed to feel like tense at all? And he destroyed a bunch of Ultron copies. I don't know.
Green Super Flash says, I remember not enjoying Ultron the first time I saw it, but I enjoyed it more the second time I saw it, which was recently.
I mean, it was a fun movie. I'm not gonna say
it's still fun. It's still fun.
Yeah, it's fun. It has fun moments. For sure. I like the Captain America little highway fight where we get to actually see him do something in an Avengers movie. That was cool. Where it was just him and like Black Widow, I think. That was it. I was like, oh, cool, no Iron Man stuff. I was like, oh, thank God they took a break from Iron Man being a big part of Avengers. Like, we forget Captain America is the fucking leader of the Avengers, but Iron Man, he's the most popular character.
But then going back to Iron Man, I did like his little vision of the future, where he saw all the Avengers kind of like struck down and kind of gave
that
a little bit of insight.
Almost all of it was kind of, that's cool. I like it, but it was like, I don't know, felt more convenient. And also that Thor shit where it's just like he goes into it takes like 10 minutes of the movie to explain that he goes into some fucking cave and takes a bath and sees Ragnarok happen. I'm like, you don't need to shove all this like weird future shit. Yeah, especially since Ragnarok was no big deal anyway. It was fucking. I mean, big things happen in Ragnarok, but when you're watching it, it's just like Iron Man 3 again. It's like, oh, we're having a good time, But
Crazy Roy says, "Go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep" was the funniest line.
Oh yeah, go to sleep when he's just punching the shit out. Like, yeah, that whole fight was fun, but I wouldn't say it was like exciting. It was just fun because it was like.
Because you guys see the whole Buster.
Like when Hulk spits out one of his own teeth and he looks fucking super pissed. I'm like, that's funny.
I do think that killing off Quicksilver in the first, like that movie, was kind of lame.
Yeah, oh no, I actually like that because these movies never have like heroes die. It feels like so. I was like, okay, cool, Quicksilver, and it didn't make any sense. Like, why couldn't he just like move far away? Besides just like push the person out of the way or whatever the fuck he did, and then get shot. I'm like, you're quicker than that. You already showed us that he's so quick. He can just sit there and watch the Thor's hammer in midair just paused, and he grabs it and then he fucking flies away.
My pet peeve with things is when they introduce someone just to kill him off right away.
Sure, but like Quicksilver, the marketing made it seem like, oh, he's gonna be a character. So I was okay, like he's gonna be a character in the future. So I was like okay with that. But yeah, sure, like Hawkeye might have, maybe he should have bit the dust, but Quicksilver stopped that from happening. But would it be Quicksilver and Black Widow in Endgame? That'd be a little weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. You gotta count.
Weren't there like rumors of him getting casted back in for Endgame or something?
I'm sure he'll be back in like some show or some shit. Like I came back because I'm really fast and my wounds healed really quickly or some shit. You like bullets popping out of them and shit.
I put this.
I'm sure Flash does that too.
I put in low B above Iron Man 3.
C.
I gotta go high C. Yeah, I don't know. It's still fun, but there's a lot of shit in there that's just blah. Yeah,
all right.
That's good.
What's the next one for?
Ant-Man.
Ants. This is back before I was in the MCU. I only watched the 2 movies. Ant-Man just by title sounded so dumb that I've always just been a little bit interested in it. And I was so excited to finally get to this.
Of all the titles,
because you got Thor, Iron Man, Captain America, Guardians of the Galaxy, Hulk, Ant-Man,
Black Panther, Spider-Man, even
Doctor Strange.
If we didn't know what Spider-Man was ahead of time, like if he wasn't such a great character that we already knew, and you heard Spider-Man, you'd be like, that sounds stupid.
Oh, they made the joke about that. I remember when Hulk came back and there's Ant-Man and a Spider-Man.
And a Spider-Man. But Ant-Man, nobody, like, spiders are cool conceptually, I guess.
Ants.
Ant-Man,
which, by the way,
ants are just like,
by the way, does not make any, like, I mean, it makes sense because he gets small, but the ant power itself should have came back in some form in Endgame because it felt like everyone's like, oh, yeah, he controls ants. Fuck.
It did.
No.
Yeah, it did. Prove me wrong. You didn't see it. Fucker. It might have. You never saw it. They're too small.
This movie was such a fun fucking movie. I still enjoy this movie. Every time I rewatch it, I have a good time. I love the cinematography of it. I love the flashback scenes. I love the characters. You
can feel Edgar Wright's hands all over this movie. Yeah, he didn't direct it, obviously, but
the villain sucks ass, but it's still fun.
Yeah, but you know what? His suit is pretty cool looking.
His suit's dope as hell, and
it's cool.
One of the most wild deaths in this movie.
Oh yeah, when he like implodes in himself or something like that. I was like, whoa, that one, right? You're talking about a different one.
The one where he turns the guy into goop.
Oh, that one's good too. It wasn't this the one where like was it Yellow Jacket? That's the villain. Like he kills him by like imploding himself like inside a black hole or something, right? Or was that a different movie? That might have been a different movie.
I think so.
Someone gets black holed and they just like fucking like crush inside something. Maybe that was a different movie. But yeah, no, you're right. When he turns that guy into goop,
and then just wipes him off the floor and then throws him in the toilet. I'm like, Jesus.
I'm like, damn.
That was wild.
That was pretty good.
Green Spirit Flash says the biggest surprise of the MCU and still in my top 5. Hey, it's in my top 5 still.
Yeah, I love Ant-Man too. Ant-Man was a lot of fun. It was just a goofy time, and all the characters are lovable. Like Michael Pena, as Luis, or is it Luis?
Luis.
Yeah.
I got the van.
It was like, yeah, and my mom died. But I got the van. It's like, oh
yeah. And then what's your favorite line from him in the heist?
Oh, yeah. It's at the end in the fucking heist segment of the movie. Where it's just like he knocks that one dude out. He's just like, oh, that man was in wait, no, what does he say? Fuck. He's like, oh, he's a part of a. Oh no, what the fuck does he say? I forgot the quote now. Shit.
Unfortunate casualty and otherwise.
Oh, he was a unfortunate casualty in a very serious operation. It's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so fun, just the way they go about it, like making everything big and small, and the shots were so unique and kind of cool to that, you know.
Yeah.
And also,
fun movie.
Paul Rudd is awesome.
I love Paul Rudd. I'll watch anything with Paul Rudd.
I love how him and his daughter interact.
I would go B.
Okay. I
enjoy it. I think it's fun.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun.
I put high A for me. You said low A?
Yeah, low A. I think the villain is a major problem, and he does take up a good amount of screen time.
Sure.
Even though he does have a cool kill scene. And if I'm correct, I think his death scene was cool too. I don't remember exactly. I'm pretty sure he dies though. He's just dead.
We all said A for Captain America, right?
Oh yeah. I did at least.
Yeah, we had 2 A's. I think I was B, but you were both A.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right in the middle then.
Yes, that's fine.
All right.
Whoever you want.
Next up, Captain America: Civil War.
I have some hot takes. I was expecting to me, like, the goofiness in times of this movie took away from like the weight of what should have been happening.
Sure.
Like, I thought that airport fight was fucking stupid and really took me out of the movie and like de-invested me in the conflict between the two sides. I thought the last fight between the three of them, Bucky, Cap, and Tony, in that place was sick. And
dude,
they beat the shit out of Iron Man. Dude, I was like, yes.
That shot where he's like on the ground is getting fucked up, and they're just like passing the shield
back and forth.
Yeah,
just
so good.
Fucking beating his ass. But like, that's the kind of tone and vibe I guess I was kind of hoping for from the whole movie. But
because sure, in hindsight, the airport scene was kind of goofy and a little bit jokey, but they kind of did say that at one point. They're like, "Hey, we're still friends." Like that was the line from Hawkeye to Black Widow. Like, "Hey, we're still friends, right?" We're.
I don't want to hear that though. That's dumb. Like, I don't know. I felt like tonally, it was just a little bit too back and forth, and didn't really let me invest into either the funny or the serious.
I wish it
was good.
I wish it was mainly a Captain America movie. Like going back to it, like a couple years ago when we rewatched all these movies. I really wish it still is for the most part. Like you have like Captain America at the funeral of Peggy.
Well, it's very much a hybrid of Captain America and Iron Man.
Yeah, it's still like when you consider who is the main character. Like if you have to pick one, it's still Captain America. He's still the main character.
But it's cool because Iron Man's the bad guy.
Yeah, but fuck Iron Man.
Exactly, he's the bad guy.
You know what? I really like the villain of the movie. I thought he was really cool. Baron, his name Helmut Zemo. I think his name is. Zebo, yeah, the Zebo. The villain.
He won. He won.
He won.
Do you think anybody would watch ever watched this movie and been on Iron Man's team after watching it?
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. I'm sure. Oh, for sure. I'm sure after it's revealed that Cap knew that Winter Soldier killed his parents, I bet there's some people like, oh, fuck Captain America. I'm Iron Man all the way. That's bullshit.
No, I was like, beat his fucking ass. I was like, put that shield through his face.
Kill the sun too. Fuck it.
Yeah, fuck him.
Fuck him. You know how many people Iron Man got killed throughout these movies just by being a fucking asshole? Like, screw him. All the villains in every one of his movies hate him because he's
an asshole.
Yeah, Iron Man 1, Obadiah Stane hated him because he's a little shit. Iron Man 2, fucking Whiplash didn't like him. I don't remember, but fucking Hammer didn't like him just because he's a dick. Iron Man 3, fucking Guy Pearce as the little nerdy guy was like, Tony Stark made fun of him.
People like he's fucked over in business. He's like fucking Trump.
He made Ultron.
Thanos, he was trying to take over the world, and Iron Man stops him. What the fuck?
Exactly. He brought his fucking bomb up there and blew up his fucking army. Of course, Thanos would be pissed. Like stab his ass. Yeah,
Zemo is going to be in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I'm excited to see him again.
Yeah, he's awesome. I think he's a great villain, honestly, and I like that actor. He's a really good actor.
And I'm glad that he won. You know, it was cool to have a villain straight.
Yeah, exactly. Thanos and Zemo, the only two that won in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
We should eventually maybe rank villains in the MCU. That'd be kind of fun.
Yeah, for sure. Oh yeah.
But
he was in Burnt, that Bradley Cooper movie.
Oh, he was in that. He was in
he was the waiter in Burnt.
He got burnt in a movie called Rush. You ever saw that?
Oh yeah, he was in Rush. Chris Hemsworth. I just know him from Inglourious Basterds, man.
Chris Hemsworth is awesome. Yeah, Inglourious Basterds too. Yeah, he was really good in that. Wasn't in it very long, but oh man, Inglourious Basterds is so good.
Oh,
he was in that shitty ass. He was in that shitty Cloverfield movie we saw.
Oh, Clover Paradox.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, he was in that piece of shit.
We'll rank Cloverfield movies soon.
Daniel Bruhl is the actor.
Maybe a quick one.
Yeah, really quick. Well, we could count Overlord. Let's just pretend it's one.
Sure. All right. So it goes from 3 minutes to 3.5 minutes now.
That's like a deep cut Cloverfield movie. You have to really look at in the background. Overlord honestly be like the second best in my opinion. Like
yeah.
I love Overlord. Overlord's so fun.
That was a great movie. I didn't know it was related to Cloverfield, but
it was
supposed to be.
And then took all the references out.
Yeah, they took all the references out and said because Cloverfield Paradox did so shitty and nobody liked it, they're like, eh. It's just like, eh. That's done. Like,
so
it's over.
I see what you're saying, Matt. I don't necessarily agree with it, just because I think it was fun, just knowing that it was just fun seeing everyone try to kick each other's ass and kind of seeing the dynamics of all that, seeing who went with who.
I do agree. It kind of. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'll go for it. You're good.
No, I was just saying I do agree. It kind of lessened the dramatic stuff, but I think the dramatic stuff really came back like very well when what's his name gets
when Rhodey got shot down.
Yeah, when Rhodey got shot down.
And then fucking Falcon goes, "I'm so sorry," and then fucking just gets blasted by Iron Man right away.
That's another reason, like Tony. Like, first of all, it was fucking. Wasn't it Tony's up missing? It was somebody else's missing. No, it was what's his name?
Vision.
It was Vision. And what the fuck? Falcon didn't do a goddamn thing. Why shoot him?
He just dodged it.
Why was that such a big deal when they shot Rhodey down? Like, he was fine. Like, that was the only fallout.
He's
that, like,
crippled now.
He couldn't walk.
Yeah, well, no, he can't walk at all.
I
think like, he can walk. He just has to.
Fuck it, he's got a suit. Who cares? He can fly.
Yeah, just keep the lower half on. Fuck it.
Yeah.
It's
like.
But I do like I love the villain in here. I love the dynamics. I like that.
Yeah.
It introduced Black Panther. It had really fun moments with Ant-Man.
Yeah, Ant-Man was fun.
It was cool seeing Spider-Man. Spider-Man showing up in here.
Yeah, Spider-Man was cool, but Ant-Man showing up got me hype. Okay, right immediately, it was like, "Oh man, you're Captain America. I'm shaking your hand too long. Thanks for thinking of me."
Like, and then looks at the girl. Hey, you're cool too.
I know you. You're great too. It's like so good.
Yeah, it's.
So I love his intro compared to Spider-Man when he shows up. He's like, he has the backflip. He steals Captain America's weapon, and then he's like, "Hey, everyone!" Ant-Man's just like in a car, passed out. Like, they open the door,
and then gets his shield back for Cap. Here you go, Captain America.
Here you go, Captain America. It's so good. And Paul Rudd's so great.
And then Giant Man.
Yeah,
Giant his eyes.
It's like something just flew through me.
I love his line going. His line
after he's done, he's just like, "Yo, anybody have any orange slices?"
Yeah. No, I love his line. It's like, "I got an idea. I can do this, but I can't last too long."
I can't last too long.
Everyone's like, "The fuck is this guy talking about?" Or when he's fucking with Iron Man's suit. Is something inside me? Hey, this is your conscience. Yeah,
we don't talk too much. It's so good. Every Ant-Man line is like gold.
Yeah.
Honestly.
And then at the end when he's all locked up, he's like, "Yeah, you took for me too." He's like, "Who are you?
Who are you?" He's like, "Okay." This is like nobody knows. That also comes back in Endgame when the kids don't want to take a picture of him.
Yeah.
Because nobody knows who he is.
Yeah.
See, everything comes back.
I really actually enjoy Captain Civil War a lot. I think a lot of payoff, and that ending is so brutal, man. Just such an intense scene, dude. It's so fucking good.
And then even when like you see Winter Soldier killing his parents, it's like really. It's not like violent or anything. It's pretty brutal.
Day I was born.
Yeah.
December
on the exact day you were born?
December 16, 1991. That's how I remember that day now.
Damn. I thought it was like earlier he died. So.
No, that's exactly the day I was born. I was like, hey, there I am getting born in the background when Bucky kills the shit out of Iron Man's parents.
You can see, if you squint, you can see in the background.
There's me.
That's me.
And there's brutal murder right there.
Yeah. Two brutal acts going on right
now. I'd give this an A. I still like it a lot.
I'd give it a B.
I give it a low A. I still really enjoy it. I think the Captain America movies, when it comes to just those, I mean, the movies that are called whatever and then subtitle, I think is the best. I don't want to call them a series. I guess it is a series.
Is that above or below First Avenger?
I don't know, actually. Put it right next to it. Yeah, that's fine right there.
Yeah, that's fine.
I think Captain America 1 needs a little bit of a pick-me-up because nobody talks about it that much.
Look at Captain America right now. Look at that.
Hell yeah, you goddamn right.
The whole trilogy.
Iron Man, Captain America, and Ant-Man. Let's go. The three best.
End it right there.
Yeah, there you go. We're done. Bye.
All right. Next up, Doctor Strange.
I didn't like this one that much.
Visually, it's fucking.
It's amazing looking. I will say this: the villain is lame, and that sucks because I love Mads Mikkelsen. Dormammu's cool though.
Dormammu is awesome. I love that scene so much.
Even though he shows up way too late. The action is really cool, but it's not really about the action. So it's really about the visuals during the action. I do like that scene where he's. Yeah, the love interest was whatever.
Sorry, I interrupted you. You love the scene with
I didn't say that.
No, Gore.
Oh, you said Matt.
Sorry, I interrupted you.
What was I gonna say? I can
talk about Dormammu and then fighting the fight scene.
Oh, I love the fight. Like the first fight where he's like still learning, like he's doing the shield magic, and then like only one like comes on, and he has to, like flick the other one on or whatever, and he's fighting the two. I thought that stuff was good. That was good hand-to-hand combat.
I still think I think the circled things that the magic happens. I think that's one of the coolest
cool.
effects in the MCU.
Yeah, it's cool. And you know what? As we know, we've seen set photos, I'm sure, where it looks fucking stupid as hell when he's doing it, because you can see in like set photos him like holding his hands out like this and shit, and like pretending
cool
like he's flying. It looks cool in the movie. It looks dumb as fuck when he's doing it on set. It's like,
has never seen Doctor Strange. Might need to see it again before the multiverse, or might need to see it before Multiverse of Madness. I agree. I think it's
actually, definitely.
I think it's really good.
Watch it soon, because I think WandaVision's gonna have something to do with it.
I think it's gonna bleed in a little bit.
Character. Yeah, so you might want to watch it soon.
So, I think the love interest kind of sucks. It's never coming back. It just felt kind of forced, especially just being the whole like everyone needs a love interest. He didn't really need one.
He didn't. He really.
The origin story of Doctor Strange doesn't really matter too much.
But I will say the ancient one, awesome, and she came back later.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's awesome. Tilda Swinton.
It's just a fun movie to watch too, just visually. Like, especially have like a nice TV and everything set up.
Dude, when she sends his ass into the astral plane or whatever the fuck, and he's just like flipping, and like his hand turns into fingers. I'm like,
I thought that was an intro for someone.
Huh?
I thought it was an intro for a certain other YouTuber.
Is it? Is that a reference?
That's a reference to something. You'll remember if I talk about it at the podcast.
Oh, okay. No, I don't remember.
Thank you very, 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 very much for the donation.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay. I know.
All right, Matt.
That's right. Yeah.
You weren't
I
into
forgot
this.
they used that. Yeah.
This is a C movie for me. I think it's boring.
You know what? The humor doesn't exactly work for me. I thought there's a couple of funny moments. Like I like when Mads Mikkelsen's character is like strapped into that weird sex thing or whatever the fuck it is. When it's like a torture device, but it just looks like some sex toy where he just like forces them in a place. And he's like starting to talk, and Doctor Strange's like, "What?" And he's like, "There's some humor that works in it, but it's definitely not the funniest Marvel movie. It has great visuals though, and the guy that wrote it was originally from a website called Spill.com. So shout out. I used to love Spill.com.
Greasy Reply says it's a C for me. Just another basic superhero origin movie, but with cool visuals. I agree.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
It sucks because I think it had definitely a little bit more potential.
Yeah, I still liked it a lot.
I put it in very, very, very low B, like on the cusp, like it's a centimeter off C.
C, just do it.
I'm just a B. No, I'm doing B. Sorry. Are you talking about him? Yeah, well, whatever. I will say though, I'm infinitely more excited for the sequel because Sam Raimi's directing it. So
yeah, and it's gonna be fucking weird.
Yeah, good. It better fucking be.
Next up, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
All right, Matt likes this one better.
Yeah, I don't know why I did, but I just had more fun watching this. I kind of liked the Kurt Russell dynamic with I liked the relationship building between all of the Guardians. I just thought it was enjoyable. I would go high B for this movie.
I had a great time watching this too. I watched it a couple times. I don't like Baby Groot. I think he's annoying.
The intro scene's kind of fun.
Yeah, intro scene's fun. I thought the ending was great. I like the
that ending is gorgeous, I think.
Yeah, with Yondu and stuff. Sylvester Stallone's there.
Oh, that is a good ending.
Sylvester Stallone's there attributing Yondu, of course. What else? Mortal Kombat 11 star Sylvester Stallone in his finest role yet, tributing Yondu. Does anybody remember Stallone was in that movie?
Yeah, I do.
I didn't until you just said that.
I remember that.
I remember not hearing about that at all. I guess it was already announced by the time the movie came out. And I'm in the theater and Stallone shows up. I'm like, what the fuck? I would have never thought Stallone would ever be in one of these movies. And he's like, Yondu, you're a disappointment. I'm like, oh, fuck, that sucks. And then later he's tributing him. I'm like, hell yeah. It's a fun movie. I think a very goofy tone fits this series more so than anything else. So this one's way more goofy and over the top than the first one. To the point where I guess they forgot Drax is like he came from a alien race that like takes everything literally, because they don't even fucking do anything with that anymore. Now he's just a fucking he's an idiot.
He's just an idiot.
He's an idiot that farts and fucking.
Which is so weird when you read the comics and see who Drax is, and then you watch the movie. You're like, what the fuck is going on?
Drax
with Drax
is just a meathead in the
comics.
Right?
He's like this. In the comics, he's a badass. Like he's like all
warrior,
super tough. Yeah, like super tough, stoic, but like get the job done.
Drax I guess. An idiot. James Gunn heard that people liked him because he was so serious, and they're just like, you know what?
I'm going
over the top. Stupid.
Let's make him fucking stupid. Let's make him Homer Simpson.
Which is weird because like he's got a tragic like backstory and everything too, but he's an idiot.
He has the most. Honestly, he probably has the most tragic one. I mean, besides Peter, I guess. Gamora. I guess they all have tragic backstory. Well, I don't know about Rocket. We still don't know what the fuck's going on with him.
They experimented on him, right?
Yeah, that's about it. Though, who? Like, are we gonna learn that? Who did it?
No.
I know. I still like.
Imagine it was like somebody we know. It was like Red Skull or something.
I still like Drax 2 Crazy Pepperoni, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. He's dumb.
Red Skull captured a raccoon to do some Nazi experiments on Rocket Raccoon. I don't know how he got to space, but whatever.
So he started talking like, "Oh shit!" Just threw him in space.
Shot him through a cannon.
Yeah. I like it more than the original too, actually. So I put in high B.
I think more what would probably happen is that an alien captured a raccoon and just experiment on him. But I want Red Skull to experiment on Rocket Raccoon. I want Rocket Raccoon to be a secret, like sleeper cell Nazi raccoon.
Yeah,
and then like someone says the secret word and he activates.
It's Guardians 3.
That better be Guardians 3. I'm gonna be pissed. James Gunn, come on. Anyway, I give it a B. It's a fun movie. Very fun.
So 3 Bs.
3 Bs, baby, right in the middle. I think.
I said high B.
A high B, okay, right above Avengers. Then there you go.
That works.
Right next to Guardians. There you go. Perfect.
All right, let's see. Next up, we have Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Yes. All right, Spider-Man: Homecoming, fun movie. Not my favorite Spider-Man movie. That poster is a fucking lie. Iron Man's barely in it. The trailer was a lie, which is good actually. I appreciate that Iron Man isn't there helping Spider-Man during fights and stuff. I'm glad. I mean, he's there obviously, and he does help him once. But I wanted just a Spider-Man movie, and for the most part, we got that. We got some good moments.
I'm glad we didn't get the intro. Yeah, it's nice to not have to deal with that backstory.
Yeah, no Uncle Ben shit. Even though they should mention Uncle Ben eventually. Like it feels a little shitty right now because Uncle Ben's a big part of Spider-Man, and that's why he became like eventually. Like, come on, at least mention like, yeah, what would Uncle Ben think, or just say something like, Uncle Ben sure was cool. Just say that. Say something. Like we don't even know if Uncle Ben was a person. Was it just Aunt May and that's it? She never got married? I don't fucking know anymore. I don't know.
I've never seen any of the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies, sadly. It's pretty good. I did like the fatherly dynamic that Iron Man sort of took. It wasn't too over the top, but it was still like there. I did like the high school aspect of it. I like the age range they put Spider-Man at was good, I think, for the MCU.
Yeah. I agree.
Action wise,
even though Tom Holland's like 25 now, but he still looks like
he's 17.
He's still like he's like a little 12-year-old boy. It's a little weird.
And then action wise, I enjoyed it. I like the scenes they had.
I don't like the action at the end. I thought the whole airplane scene was really lame.
Sure.
I like the idea, like, oh, Spider-Man, he's usually fighting people in a city. Now he's on an airplane. What's he gonna do? Like, I guess just a bunch of quick cuts. That's all you really get. It's also like really ugly too. I remember like visually, I was like, I couldn't tell what was really going on, but everything else was fun. It was a fun movie.
Yeah, totally. It was cool to see like a sort of it was Spider-Man like he really wanted to do more jobs, but Happy wasn't just paying attention to me. Like, nah, just chill.
Yeah. What do you think, Matt?
I actively dislike this movie.
You and Kyle.
Yeah, we need a Kyle.
Here. Yeah, Kyle hates these Spider-Man movies because he has like this. He has this love for the Spider-Man Raimi movies, which I do too. But I could still like appreciate other ones. But
here's for me what I like about Spider-Man. What I like about the character is not like, oh, fun like awkward high school kid is Spider-Man. Like it comes back to that that with great power comes great responsibility. Like I like the moral turmoil that Peter Parker has in the Sam Raimi movies of that.
Yeah.
This is almost like a curse for him. Like this is his burden to bear, where he has this power to help all these people. Sure. So he's thereby obligated to, and he is like 100% in this alone. Like he doesn't have Tony Stark or Chef Jon Favreau in his ear helping him out, giving him tech advice. It's just him like bearing this unimaginable weight and pressure, and just having to get it done, make all these sacrifices, like turn Mary Jane. Like Spider-Man should not be pining after fucking Zendaya. He should be shunning relationships because he knows bringing people close is too dangerous for them. And I think that's what I like about the Spider-Man character, and they don't have any of that in these movies. And I don't know, I just don't like them.
I like new Kyle. So, when he has a hot take, he talks about it for a little bit. He tells
well Kyle here, old Kyle just be like, fucking soulless, no soul. Where's the soul? Where's Raimi?
And then we go, hey Kyle, that's a weird seed.
Even though he's fucking getting red faced and is punching a wall.
He's talking about himself when he's saying that, actually.
This movie's the highest D for me, though. I don't like this movie. I think on its own, it's not that good either. Like, I think it's just kind of boring.
I thought Michael Keaton was I think this is like the beginning of like the villains becoming much better. Even though I like Zemo, I think a lot of people didn't really care for him.
I agree with what you said.
Yeah, so like Michael Keaton actually had a reason. And again, whose fucking fault is it? Fucking
Tony Stark,
motherfucker in the background on the poster that's barely in the movie. Fucking dick.
I'm not big into Spider-Man in general though, so I put it solid. No, like literally, like the piece of Spider-Man I like the most is Spider-Verse, which I mean is not saying much because Spider-Verse is fantastic, but
everybody says that.
I've never really been into Spider-Man.
You don't like Miles Morales the game?
We'll see.
Come on, put the Spider-Verse suit on.
Spider-Man 2.
That's all I've been doing. I've never changed the suit yet.
Yeah, I'm not doing it either.
Spider-Man 2 is my 4th favorite superhero movie.
Oh, you and Kyle right now.
It's easily it's in my top 10 too. Spider-Man 2 is fucking. No, I think to be fair, I think Kyle likes the first one better. But
I'll watch the movies eventually.
Oh, those two are so good, and then the third one's fine.
I'll watch it.
The third one's funny.
Yeah, the third one has some funny moments. Yeah, everybody thought him being like him doing this and shit, like is cringe, but it's supposed to be.
It's hilarious.
He's a nerd pretending to be cool, so that's the things he would think is cool.
Go make some. That's the fun.
Yeah, go make some. Yeah, he's talking about the cookies.
Go.
Go.
Adrian, you need to watch the fucking Sam Raimi Spider-Man
I'll watch
movies, especially 3. Especially 3.
I'll put them on the list.
3 has obviously the problems that everybody knows is the villains. They had like fucking 8 villains.
If you guys all like 2, then I'm sure I'll appreciate 2 then. At the very least.
I think you'll like 3 also, but I mean the only problem with 3 is the villains really, and also they tried to connect Sandman to Uncle Ben. It's like,
well, 3 is just so bad it's hilarious to me.
Yeah,
like,
okay,
it's just so dumb. It's funny.
I thought the Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2 were competent, so if you're saying that the original trilogy is better than those, then
oh yes, Amazing Spider-Man 2 is feces, dude. That movie sucks.
That movie's so bad. It is kind of funny though.
See, I think maybe this is the reason why I was not in the.
When Jamie Foxx turns into Electro,
gets his teeth fixed.
I'm like, what is going on?
That's the best scene in that movie.
So I think I'm coming.
Like a mad scientist character, or like doing experiments on Electro too, and it's like a close-up shots of his face, like going. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
I feel like I'm hitting an epiphany right now, where it's like, remember, I was so against superhero movies for the longest time. I think it's because my movies that I watched at that point were The Incredible Hulk and Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2. And I was like, man, superhero movies suck ass. So why would I watch them?
Some of them suck for sure. You watched Dark Knight, right? Which I still wouldn't.
Yeah, I wouldn't consider that a superhero movie though.
I wouldn't even consider that a comic book movie, honestly, even though obviously it is. But
all right, so I put this in C.
I give it a low B. Ooh, damn. Ow. Ooh, yikes. I still like a lot of things. I think Tom Holland is good in that version of Spider-Man, meaning a 15-year-old kid.
All right, let's talk about Thor Ragnarok.
Thor
Ragnarok. A ton of fun.
It's so much fun.
So let me tell my story on Ranksters about my first experience with Ragnarok. I was asked out on a date to go watch the movie. I was like, sure. And then I was like, when? They're like, oh, it's an 11 o'clock showing tonight. I'm like, oh,
pretty late.
That's very late. And I was already tired from work all day, so I was like, I guess. I mean, I was like, any other time? They're like, no, I work. I'm like, fuck. I get. All right, fine. I went, and right during the trailers, this one woman just fucking laughing at every fucking thing. Everything. And I've had that happen twice. There was one lady that laughed so hard during game night, I walked out of the movie. Like 15 minutes in, I walked out. I was like, I can't, because she laughed at every fucking joke as if it was the funniest fucking thing she'd ever heard in her entire life. Even the little like one-line quips that you're like, oh, that's kind of like, you chuckle, huh? And she's like fucking laughing. Anyway, this woman was laughing. There was a Jumanji trailer in front of this.
Yeah.
She fucking lost her shit. She was laughing so hard. In the back of my head,
I'm like, same woman.
Yeah.
There's only a couple months in between. It might have been the same woman.
And I was like, this is terrible. I don't want to do this. And I was already tired, and like I fell asleep like 2 minutes in. I fell asleep through the whole movie. That very rarely happens where I fall asleep. If I fall asleep like a little bit, I wake up back at like 5 minutes. I'm like, I'm good to go. I fell asleep through the whole fucking movie. I walked out.
I've never slept through a movie in a theater.
I slept through that entire fucking movie. And I walked out like, oh, that was an okay movie, I guess. But I thought about it after I thought about that opinion, I was like, wait a second, I didn't even watch the movie. So
that was great. I like the part where he's in the chains and he's spinning, and then the movie ended.
It's really weird.
Yeah,
really
and then all of a sudden Hulk's here. I'm like, what the fuck?
And then he said something about Earth, and then it ended.
And there was some slug thing being held by this alien.
Yeah, it was like, he's talking in this weird like fucking accent. He's like, "Hey man." Like,
yeah,
weird.
so I had not watched a that was my like third or fourth MCU movie I had watched, because that was the movie that I think I was like, because I had been invited to it, so I wasn't really thinking of it. I was like, you know what, I'll give that movie another go. And I watched it. I was like, oh, that movie was actually really funny. And then it was like a month or two later, I think Gore and I decided to do the whole MCU playthrough of it. And since then, Ragnarok is just increasingly over time, even to the point right now where it's my favorite MCU movie. Even now, every time I watch it, I just love it more and more every single time. Like, everything is just so great about that movie. It revived Thor as a character. Thor is actually a good character now. The humor in it, fucking Korg is incredible during it. I love the dynamic of Hulk and Thor, just like that first like. Thor's ready to fight, and then you see Hulk, yes! And Loki's like, oh shit.
I need to get off this planet.
Yeah, I actually have a signed Funko Pop of Jeff Goldblum as Grandmaster as a pop. It's like that's my favorite things I have now. I fucking love Thor Ragnarok. That's solid S tier for me. It's just one of my favorite movies.
Hell yeah. That's a
great film. What are you
film.
giving it, Gore? What are you giving it?
I really enjoy that movie too. I think it's one of the funniest ones. It's not one of my favorites because I like the emotional. I like the emotional, like fucking, like more dramatic stuff from the other ones, like Captain America, and even Civil War. I like that stuff a little bit better. But it is good. I like that it's not just a goofy comedy. Like there is, I mean, it is mainly, but there is a lot of like growth for the character of Thor. Like he actually becomes, even though they throw it away in the next movie, but he kind of becomes more of a I guess a king in some way, a ruler, I guess. Even though
Immigrant Song, dude.
Immigrant Song's good. Yeah.
Twice they did it. Twice.
Beginning and the end. They had the book end it. They didn't use it in the next movie, which I'm sure we'll talk about how you're upset about, but. The next Avengers.
I'm fine with it, but it would have been
not Black Panther.
Yeah, they used it in Black Panther.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I can see that fit in a war scene. Let's go. That song could probably fit in most things though, and most action movies. Yeah, it's great. I really like it.
The biggest upgrade to a character in movie history.
Yeah, well, yeah, sure. I'm sure there's another one we could think of, but yeah, right now. When it comes to MCU, then for sure.
Far and away.
Yeah.
This is the highest A for me.
Yeah, I'd say that too. The only problem I have with it is that later on, it's not even a problem with this movie. It's just that it sucks that a lot of the cool things about this movie just got thrown away in the future one. So really, that's negative for other movies. But
God, it's just so good though. Everything about it. Valkyrie is fucking awesome. There's a couple of really cool shots in there. Hela.
And besides Guardian, yeah, Hela's a good villain. She's not great though. I would have liked her to be a little bit more.
Fuck though.
Yeah, with the helmet.
When she fucking just does that thing, and then you see the fucking horns.
Well, you see her in that flashback where she kills all the Valkyries and stuff. I thought
that's just a gorgeous shot right there, dude.
I like the helmet, the spikes always change too. It's just like, I don't know, like in that shot it's really big, and then later on it's kind of big, and then later on it's like fucking giant again. I'm like, hell yeah,
bro. The scene where, what are you the god of again? And then he just has that flashback, and he's just thinking about his dad.
Yeah, I wish he said farts.
And then just all of a sudden,
immigrant song played.
He just cups one and throws it in her face.
Hey, like pocket sand.
Yeah.
It distracts. Shit.
I fucking love that scene so much. So that's one of my favorites.
Yeah, it's good.
Scene. Just what are you the god of? Just all of a sudden that, and then you see him glide down into that
that shot. It's so good. That shot's so good with the pile of dudes, and he's just like coming down.
And he's like, "Fuck!" He's like, "Yeah." He's just like, "Fuck the hammer! I don't need that shit." Just start throwing everything around there.
He's just like he's like doing Mortal Kombat shit where he's spinning and fucking electric's coming off of him.
Green Seer Flash, hella looking hella fine in that movie.
Oh, is she looking fine? Kate Blanchett always top 10.
Tessa Thompson too. That's my crush, dude.
Who?
Tessa Thompson.
Oh yeah.
Also, hold on.
She's a little older.
Hold on. So. I fucking love that shot of Hulk. He's like, "Look, I didn't tell you who I really am. You're gonna find out." And just pops out of the thing. And you just see in the background, just fucking land.
Yeah, you're gonna find out. And then you see a clip of his face like.
It looks like he's dead as hell.
I wish that was just the end. Imagine we never saw.
If Taika Waititi had full creative control, I'm sure that would have been the end for him.
He's dead. Because that's another thing that comes back in the Incredible Hulk. That happens where he jumps out of a helicopter and then lands on the ground, and the same thing happens where he's like, "Oh shit," and he then transform, and then he comes out. Except this one's way more comedic and better.
Because everyone stops to pause and look and see what happened. Even the big ass dog turns around too.
Yeah, but he like nudges them, I think, and then he's like, "All right, fuck him." It's really good.
I'll show you who I really am, dead.
Yeah, I'll show you.
Matt, you haven't talked about it though, so at least like, what are you thinking about? I know you said you think more about.
Yeah, he said high A. He said high A.
I know the rating, but like, the movie itself.
He loved it.
No, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. It was it kind of felt like a Guardians of the Galaxy movie to me, but better than the two Guardians of the Galaxy movies. Like, fun, wacky space adventure on an alien planet.
Yeah,
in a buddy cop in a way.
Buddy cop in a way. Yeah, I think it's the second or third best MCU movie. I think.
It's for orgies.
I think it's my third favorite. I think it's my third favorite. I would put it as the highest A.
Okay, it's in my top. It might be in my top 5. It's probably like number 5. I really have to figure it out again because the list I made was like last year with Far From Home. So
we have back. 1 S and 1 A. Is there gonna be an S with the boy, or is there gonna be an A, Gore?
No, I already said it's an A. So
it's the highest A.
Yeah, it's
I wanted it with Winter Soldier, man.
No. Sorry.
All right.
Black Panther. This is another movie that like I just didn't really get the hype for. Like it was an okay movie to me.
I totally get the hype, but
I thought the final fight was kind of dumb with like the suits and
the special effects are big stinky.
Well, so
special effects blow.
That was
he fucking lost that fight.
We know. I know why. At least why.
Yeah. So and just for anyone who didn't know is that the apparently they that final fight scene was given to a VFX company to do in 6 weeks. There's like, hey, make this in 6 weeks. We need that deadline now. And they're like, so that's why the lighting's not that great and why everything kind of just meshes together in colors. Because you got
watch the Corridor Digital guys. They go in deep on that, and like you don't even need to watch them talk about it. You can just watch it, but really they go in like why that's all fucked up. Like it's horrible. It's really bad. PU. But everything else is great.
He fucking lost that fight to
Killmonger,
Michael B. Jordan, and he's like, no, that pissed me off when he came back after he threw him off that cliff and became king. He's like, hey, the duel's not over. It's like, yes, it is, bro. What are you talking about?
Yeah, he lost. Well, I guess is it supposed to be to the death? I guess not really. He didn't kill.
No, because he didn't kill the gorilla guy.
Yeah, what was his name?
I don't remember.
It starts with B.
M'Baku.
M'Baku.
Oh, really?
M'Baku.
I guess Baku. That's what I thought it was.
But yeah, I was like, bro.
Well, he has to concede, though. No, he has to concede. Remember, M'Baku conceded.
Yeah, he didn't concede. That's true.
So this can just go on indefinitely.
Hey, if you want, that was his choice. Throw him off the cliff. Bridge. Yeah, just kill him.
No, yeah, don't throw him. You should have killed him. Yeah, I guess.
A little bit. That's some Airbud rules there. A little bit of a technicality.
Yeah, that's a technicality. That's not cheating. That's just overthrowing at that point too. Right?
I don't know. I just like. I thought it had some. I thought the final fight had some lame effects.
Yeah, it was terrible.
I don't really give a shit about Black Panther. I like the villain a lot. This is one of the.
Oh yeah.
Honestly, a lot of these movies don't have good villains. This is one of the ones where I thought the villain was well done.
Besides Thanos, like the only problem I have with the villain here is that he really doesn't show up until halfway through the movie after fucking White Boy's dead. What's the Andy Serkis, who I thought was great.
He's the man of Psycho.
Yeah, he's great. So they had two really good villains. One fun one actually good.
Looking at these movies, most of the villains are not great.
Marvel had a big issue with villains for a long time. I think
after now,
this is a good one.
Besides Captain Marvel. Even Ant-Man and the Wasp had a decent villain. I think.
But no, Michael B. Jordan is definitely the best part of this movie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And without him, I really don't think it would have been very good.
That last line right before he died is like a classic. That's like a really good one. He's like, "I'd rather you remember it.
I'd rather
sort of.
I'd
rather die.
I'd rather die off the boat or something than be a slave forever or something like that.
Yeah, slave. Yeah.
Really quick, him singing "Baby Don't Hurt Me" was random but funny.
Baby Don't Hurt Me. Oh, from Andy Serkis.
Yeah, and then I think Michael B. Jordan was given best performance gives the best performance in the entire MCU, and Oscar worthy if I'm being honest.
I wouldn't go that far.
The movie got Oscars, so
he definitely makes the movie. I think without him, it would have been.
So
not that great.
He definitely gave it his all. So.
I wasn't into the comics too much, but I knew the importance of the movie just in a cultural standpoint. And by that extent, I knew that it wasn't necessarily for me. Not to say that you still, I feel like I'm still totally allowed to critique the movie however I want. Obviously, I think anyone is.
Sure.
But I think you have to at least take into consideration the fact that who the target audience is for and who what it is. And obviously, I think seeing the importance of that, like I know going the two movies I saw, which granted they're not the best movies, but it's cool to see. Is I saw a lot of kids using like a lot of representation with like they're all like hanging out with like they had Black Panther figures, and same thing with Captain Marvel. Same thing Captain Marvel. Like a lot of little girls too in that theater that I was filled in.
And that's true. Can I just say one thing that really annoys me though? Is that where were they for Blade?
Yeah.
Like what the fuck, Blade? Come on, man. Blade was
motherfuckers trying to always ice skate uphill.
I'm a white boy and I love Blade. Just saying.
Did you get that? Did you get that collection yet?
Blade is the best. And you know what? Just like Black Panther, the special effects are amazing.
Did you get that 4K?
It's not out yet. I still got time. It comes out December. I'm good.
Let me know when it happens. I'll probably pre-order it too.
Yeah, I didn't pre-order yet.
With everything you said about that too, Adrian, but I can't.
Yeah, no, I agree.
You know, I also can't.
Cool. No, you can critique it.
What I felt about,
right.
Yeah, it's cool. It's definitely it's great for the people that really.
For a lack of a better way of saying it, it's obviously not for any of us, but we can still understand the importance for it.
That's not true. I really like.
Yeah, I know. I definitely respect it culturally.
Movie. Andy Serkis, baby.
I definitely respect it culturally, but. Did I personally love the movie? No.
But that's not to say that I don't understand the people that do love that movie. I get
it. I get it. I get it. But no, I get it. But I mean, the special effects still aren't good.
Sure.
Yeah, they suck. I honestly wish they would go back because that movie made so much money. Why couldn't
they're not going to cheap out on
give it a few more weeks of And like they could update that movie. Like if they re-released it now in theaters where like theaters are like nobody's going to see it, and like
just fix
update
it up
the visuals a little bit, fix
I
it
feel-
up more,
I
and
feel
like test the market. They should do that test and see if people are still going to go to a MCU movie right now in this day and age with all the theaters. Well, the Corona.
It's getting dropped on Disney Plus, whatever the next one is.
I feel like that'd be a good way to memorialize Chadwick Boseman, is just making it even look even prettier and just.
I totally fucking forgot that he was dead until you just said that. That's why, like, yeah, that had totally slipped my mind until you just now said that. Dude. Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's been. In
hindsight too, is the performance he put.
I love that actor. Even before Black Panther, I was like, yo, get on up, fucking 42. This guy's great.
And the performance he put out while dealing with all that too, in hindsight too, is nuts. Like that man's like,
it was all the way since Civil War, right? Because it was 4 years. We didn't mention Civil War. Black Panther was showed.
Everything he's been doing, he knew with the mindset of what he was dealing with, and everyone knows. Like, go look at like Kumail Nanjiani's his Instagram of how like that man's ripped right now because he's gonna be in the Eternals, and they talk about how like, hey, when you're on this thing, like Disney gives you like the best nutritionists and the best trainers. Like you're straight up, you could look like a Greek god, but you are under like. That is what you were doing. That is your job. You are just you are waking up and going to bed just to fucking bulk the fuck up. That's why like Chris Hemsworth was like, "Hey, I'll do it, but I'm not doing it like for that long because it's just hell."
Yeah. And then Endgame is just like, "Fuck it, put a fat suit on me. I'll get actually fat."
Yeah, no, that's why that's why like him and Chris Evans is why they have less of those like kind of like those buff scenes. They're like, "No, we're not doing it again."
Yeah. One thing I do want to say is I would love if with Kumail Nanjiani, if it ends up being like, do you remember when J.K. Simmons got buffed for fucking Justice League? And you know who J.K. Simmons is. He was the guy that played Commissioner
Whiplash.
Whiplash. And there's like pictures of him like buffing up, and he's like fucking ripped for like I think he's like in his.
But he's only in it for like a sec.
And he's in it for like 2 scenes, and he has like a trench coat on. You don't even see. Like, imagine that's what happens with Kumail Nanjiani. He just has like a suit on. You can't even tell he's buff.
J.K. Simmons has always been jacked though. Like GC Oz.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. And Whiplash, he actually has some.
Dude, even if that's the case, I don't blame Kumail Nanjiani for being like, someone's gonna help me get ripped for a year. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, and they'll pay me to do it.
Yeah. but going back to the point is knowing like the hell you have to put your body through for that. The fact that Chadwick Boseman just like straight up did it, and he looked good too in that movie too.
He looked good. Yeah, I mean, he's not Chris Evans. I mean,
but he's not. He's like he's a cat. He's a cat. He's supposed to be slender and like sleek like a cat. He's not supposed to be big and he's not supposed to be big and strong.
When Michael B. Jordan took off his shirt.
Yeah.
Did you ever see
and Creed?
Did you ever see the story about the girl who talked about how she saw that scene, and I think she busted.
He told it. I think he told it on
the movie podcast.
Yeah, but no, I think he told it on what's that one British guy? Fuck, Graham Norton. Yeah, there you go. He told it on that thing.
What was it? Her mouth dropped so hard when he took off his shirt in the movie. It like busted her retainer or something. Like just cracked it.
He paid for it.
And so he heard about it, so he paid for it to get that fixed up.
And also, hey, he's been and not recently, but he's been petitioning if they ever make a Dragon Ball Z movie, he should play Vegeta. And I'm like, you know what? Let's go, do it.
He's so jacked for Vegeta.
What was he directing soon?
Chris Evans should be Goku. Let's go.
Wasn't Michael B. Jordan trying to direct something soon that was like?
Oh, he's gonna direct Creed, right?
No, it was something else, like some fucking nerdy thing.
No, I thought he was... Oh, is he? Okay.
There was some nerdy thing that like last 2 weeks that he was like, yeah, I'll direct that, and everyone's like, oh shit.
No, I thought he was gonna do fucking.
No, I'm not talking about Creed.
Did he?
It's something.
I thought he said he's gonna direct Creed. No, I know you're not talking about that, but like, isn't he directing Creed 3? Shouldn't be.
Yeah, no, he is. He is.
He's considering it, not that he's doing it.
Oh, is he? Okay.
It was like just the last couple weeks I saw he was.
All I see is Creed 3 when I type him in Michael B. Jordan directing.
Wait, he was in Gears of War 3? What the fuck? Just Mercy. No, Without Remorse? No, he's the producer of that. I don't know. I have no idea what you're talking about. Probably said something. He probably said, I'll do anything. I don't give a fuck.
It was some nerdy thing, I think. I forget. Oh, Static Shock.
Okay.
Oh, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, he was talking about doing that.
Produced that.
Virgil Hawkins.
Hell yeah, man! I love Static Shock.
Yeah.
Superhero
Static Shock. But yeah, no, I still like Black Panther. It's not the highest one for me because it does have obvious flaws, and it's unfortunate it does because that stuff could have been fixed up with another like month or two.
Yeah.
But with that said, I think
evil white businessmen.
Yeah, there you go. Reserve Static Shock.
Superhero Shack.
So I put in B.
I'd say high B because there's a lot I love about this. A lot of the dramatic moment, like just like even the scene where like Michael B. Jordan goes into that Killmonger, which by the way they should have changed that name because that sounds stupid, but that's his actual name, right?
That whenever they go and see when they see the tree in the purple, that's such a gorgeous shot every single time.
Yeah, but he talks to his dad. He's like, "What? No tears for me?" Because even like Black Panther when he went to that other world, he saw his dad and stuff. It was like no tears for me. He's like, "No, man, fuck you." He didn't say that, but like there's scenes like that that's really good. And then his death scene and stuff. Yeah, it's really good movie. I give it a high B.
That's fine. It sounds like it's a B anyways. So
what'd you give it? C?
Yeah, probably a high C. But
okay, so
I guess
middle?
It's a B.
Yeah, right there. All right, Infinity War.
Yeah. I love the misdirection they put in the trailers where you thought they were gonna get some stuff, but it just never actually happened. That one running shot.
Oh yeah. That's good stuff. That's good stuff, baby.
I love it. I love Infinity War. I think this was the movie that I wanted to get. This is the first Marvel movie I watched. I know I watched Hulk in theaters. This is the first one I actually watched like proper in theaters. You know,
the two best ones.
Yeah, and it was surreal because man, that shit was like a rock concert at times. Man, when fucking Thor showed up with fucking Groot and Rocket, the theater lit the fuck up, dude.
You know, I just realized you saw the two worst things you could possibly see with Hulk. Because in Incredible Hulk, that movie sucked. And then in Infinity War, he gets his ass bitched out immediately and fucking never shows back up. Those are like your two experiences with Hulk.
Come on, Hulk. No! It's only like half his face.
Yeah. I was like, you punk. Like, come on.
Dude, but that was a hype scene. That set the tone right away. It was Loki going in, Loki saying we have a Hulk, and then Hulk comes in there, and they're like, oh, do we need to help him? Nah, he's just messing around. Hold on, give him a second. And then because Hulk's all wild with how he just fights, just like a fucking wild man. If Thanos starts going, all right, punch, just start actually boxing that guy.
With gut shots and stuff. And it's like he's using fucking he's getting him in the neck.
Yeah.
He's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But man, flips his ass over.
That movie sets a tone.
He threw his ass into the turnbuckle and fucking
That movie sets the tone right away though, because like everything's fucked up. Thor's already fucking bloody as hell.
Two people die. Hulk is pretty much dead at this point because I don't think we'll ever see his ass anymore. Now it's just Professor Hulk.
Yeah. But like straight up, like we got out the happy-go-lucky Ragnarok. That was fun and funny, and then just everyone's fucking dead and on fire.
Yeah. Which is great because it starts and ends with everybody dying. So
yeah,
perfect.
I think it's great. It's the more of the tone I prefer from these movies.
Still comedic, but like
still has its moments. But yeah, like when it opens up on that ship, it's like, okay, this is like,
it's going down.
Real.
Yeah,
and it's pretty, dude. For a long movie, it goes, man. It's like it's paced really well.
And it actually does a great job because if you just watch Thor Ragnarok and then you watch Infinity War, like Infinity War starts off right at the end of Thor Ragnarok, and that tonal shift doesn't feel jarring at all. Because like, we're done with happy times. Shit's about to go down. Half of these motherfuckers you just saw are dead. Two people you just saw in the last movie, they're dead. You had a good time with Loki, he's dead. Just snapped his little neck. It's just keep going. Everybody's gonna die.
Heimdall's dead.
Heimdall's dead forever. First casualty.
And I love the very serious. And I love the scene between him and Rocket, where even though Thor's like been a goofball, like it's been hitting him hard. Like it's kind of it's kind of interesting because it's in a way that's almost like his coping mechanism. Is he decided, all right, you know what, things are just fucked up for me. I'm just gonna start being a goofball. Yeah, and then he has an opening up where he's like, yeah, I lost all my family and everything's going to hell.
Yeah, and then Rocket's like, hey, he hasn't fought me. Hey, he hasn't fought me twice.
And I love the scene where he gets introduced with the Guardians of the Galaxy, where
immediately Star-Lord gets like, oh man, look at this guy. Yeah, you're fat, Star-Lord. What the fuck? I'm like, yeah, Chris Pratt's fat. He used to be, I guess.
Yeah, you're like one sandwich away from getting fat.
You're one sandwich away from fat.
I would do high A for this.
Yeah, it's a great time. It's weird too because if you look at like Rotten Tomatoes or whatever, it's like one of the lower rated ones, I think. Like what compared to like a lot of the, like even Doctor Strange, this one's lower than that.
That's stupid.
Yeah, it's a little weird. It's I don't know. I could see some people finding it jarring, especially if you've never watched like, I don't know, 2 of these movies.
You need to watch this going in. Like you can't.
Yeah,
just, like,
you need to watch pretty much all of them. Yeah, you need to watch pretty much all of them. Maybe not. I don't know.
You could cut. I guess
the
couple corners here or there, but
you don't need to watch here.
You need to watch most of them, for sure.
Yeah, Dark World you need to watch only because the next movie you need to watch it.
Understand what the going. Ironically enough, it was funny. I had a friend talking to me. She's like, "Hey, so this guy's taking me on a date to the drive-in, and I need to ask you something really quick." I was like, "Hey, what's up?" She's like, he's taking me to watch Avengers Endgame, which I've never seen a Marvel movie before. Which ones do I have to watch to know what's going on for that? I'm like, all right, well, you're not going to have time, so let's watch like a 20-minute YouTube like walkthrough of it.
Yeah.
Cancel the date.
Yeah, just cancel it.
Hey,
go see fucking Peter Rabbit.
Hey, Jam, appreciate the follow.
Hell yeah, you're cute.
I love Infinity War. I think the tone's great. The biggest hit I think is it's just not enough Cap. But I love seeing that the fight in Wakanda is so good, man. And seeing like when they all run and then you see Black Panther and Cap just start running up like forward for everyone, take everything out. Then they get their ass kicked until Thor shows up. He's like, all right, let me wreck some shit for a little bit, and then they lose.
That entrance is so good. So good.
So
when he shows up, he catches that fucking axe. It's so
and then the Avengers theme just starts playing. You see the light come down, and then the fucking Stormbreaker comes in. Stormbreaker, by the way, that was a really cool scene. You had a giant. What's his name?
Well, Peter Dinklage.
Giant Peter Dinklage.
I imagine they just thought, "Hey, Peter Dinklage, you're always the small guy because you're small. Guess what?
You're gonna be big.
Oh, what? You're gonna be big." He's like,
I'll take it.
And they did the Carlton dance. Right?
Yeah. But I love that scene, like, because Groot's being a little asshole the entire time still. And
I hate Groot. Actually, I hate teenager Groot more than I hated baby Groot.
But I did.
Groot had a couple funny moments. Teenage Groot's like, I'm like, fuck you.
I did like where he got though, where he decided how it was like, oh shit, this is actually kind of important. Then I love the stem of Stormbreaker being Groot.
Yeah, Groot's arm.
Yeah.
Word.
Jam says in the chat, hear me out. Volume 2 should be C tier.
I understand, but I enjoyed that movie, so I don't really care.
But no, I think the way they were all integrated was so well done by the Russo brothers. I think everyone just meshed. And yeah, and then the end. I gotta talk about the end is they lose, and that is one of the only times you hear at the end of an MC movie, everyone's fucking silent. Everyone's like, "Whoa!"
And then Thanos like, "That's right, motherfuckers. Look what I did."
And Thanos will return.
I did this. I run this. Yeah, this Thanos will return. Like, yeah, for about 5 minutes.
Just the audible gasps in the audience is after everyone was just getting taken out left and right, dude.
Oh, it's so good.
It was
so
nuts.
good.
This is one of my S tiers too.
I don't know if I can go that high because I think
I might be biased because it was my first MCU.
Stuff in there doesn't work. Some of it doesn't work.
Sure.
Admittedly,
I might be biased because it was my first MCU movie in theaters and it was a crazy experience. But definitely S for me.
I go regular A. I think there's some tonal problems here and there. I think there's a little bit too many goofy moments and then somebody dies. And it's just like, and then it goes back to goofy moments, you know? It doesn't quite nail the transitions of like serious and then like when something serious happens, someone has to make a joke, like right after, like just to bring the tone back to what they want. And it doesn't quite work. Same thing with Endgame. I'm gonna say the same thing about Endgame.
Oh yeah, the Endgame. The one thing I think of is when
Rocket fucking like goes boom right after fucking Black Widow's dead, and he's like
well, that, but it was the one where it's like Thor was like, just let me have this, let me do this, and then I was built for this. I got this, and he's like, no, you're filled with like cheese whiz or something like that.
Well, that actually made me laugh. To be fair, cheese whiz.
All right, Matt, you said A, right?
Yeah, A is good.
All right.
Yeah. So
this next movie though is a fucking D. This movie is boring as shit. Boring. Really? This was just so, I don't know. It just felt so like unnecessary and lame, and lost pretty much all of the funniness and charm of the original.
Well, I don't agree exactly. There's one moment in this movie I love, and that's when Paul Rudd pretends to be the mother. Not that he's like possessed by the mother.
Yeah,
I barely remember
it. Just put a hand on there.
And a sugar bear, like so weird.
Like, I think Ghost is dope as hell. I love the fight scenes in there.
Yeah. Visually, it's cool. Sure.
I was actively very bored and wanting it to be over for most of the movie in the theater.
I thought the action scenes were fun. I thought it was a little too goofy in the wrong way. I think like they have the FBI agent or whatever he was, like the guy that played Kim Jong Un in the interview.
But the card scene where he's teaching cards.
Yeah, that's good.
Jam says, "Excuse me, do you not remember the school scene? It was gold. Man's running around at toddler size."
I love that. You want some? Wait, what does it say? He wants an apple juice and a string cheese. And he's like, wait, you got those? It's good stuff. Yeah, it just that special effect, just like the Chris Evans, him being smaller, perfect. It's just a little Paul Rudd, and the way he's like running and stuff, it looks like a kid too.
Yeah,
it's perfect. He did a great job with that.
Yeah, it did not.
I wonder if it was actually a little kid and they just put Paul Rudd.
I believe they probably did that.
They probably did that, right? Yeah.
Again, I love the dynamic of Paul Rudd and his daughter in there too. It's awesome.
Oh yeah, that was adorable in the beginning. Like he made a whole cave system or something, pretending to be Ant-Man or an ant. It's good stuff. Or a spy, I guess.
Green Survive says, yeah, Ant-Man and the Wasp was not great, and it's coming from someone who loved the first one.
It's not great, but I really enjoyed it.
I still think better than the first one. Yeah, I still think it was very good. I was very high on it when I first came out of it, but over time, I slowed down a little bit on it, especially watching it again.
A good post-credit scene, too. Post-credit scene was good. Yeah, they all get dusted away. Like, as expected.
Yeah.
And they explain where Ant-Man is during Infinity War, I guess. He was in the
quantum realm.
He was doing missions, I guess. Yeah, well, he was setting up a mission at least.
I don't think it was D at all, though. It's still like a solid high B for me. I still had a great time in it.
I give it a B. Walton Goggins is in it too. Shout outs. I love that guy.
D.
D.
So I think the lowest D. Or lowest B.
Yeah, that's usually what we do, right? When there's like two whatevers and then a really low score, we just give it the whatever it had the two.
For the lowest rank of it.
Yeah.
All right. So I didn't see this one.
All right. Well, I'm going to tell you right here, Captain Marvel. When I first saw it, When I first liked it. When I first liked it, I liked it. When I first saw it, I liked it. This is the problem with Captain Marvel. I don't understand why they did the origin the way they did. Like, this is actually the first time I wish they just did a regular origin story. The way they do the origin story here is that she's already a superhero, or she has the power or whatever. And then they reveal it in like a flashback that we see as an audience, but she doesn't see. So we already know how she got her powers. So the whole movies were building up to to wait until she finds out how she got her powers, even though we already know. So it's like a whole build up to like the last 10 minutes where she's like, that's how I got my power. She gets she gets the memory back. And I thought all the action was pretty lame. I thought the special effects were pretty good. I like whenever she's like powered up and stuff. It looks cool. It looked the most Dragon Ball Z thing.
The most memorable, the most memorable shot obviously is the one where she's in front of that giant ship. It just goes like that or something, and just boom.
Oh no! Even before that, when she's like flying through them, and she like does like a body slam through one. Yeah. I was like, that's cool. That's the most personality I got from her in this movie. She's very bland in it, which I think she's a great actress too. And when I heard she was going to be in this movie, I was like, oh, good. And she won an Oscar. It's just like I don't understand why she was so.
I can't tell that was a directorial choice or something.
Two directors. I think they're kind of newer.
Yeah, they went for it with some indie stuff. One.
Yeah, which is weird. It's just it. I don't know. Like I feel like you could say that, but even like lesser actors have been like Chris Hemsworth when he first was in Thor. He wasn't great in Thor, but I could get a personality from him. I could tell that this guy's, he's fun. He's just being held back. I didn't get that from Brie Larson.
Yeah, it was.
It seemed like she didn't really want to be in the movie. Is all I mean. Good.
I'm trying to write down my thoughts so we can read some of the chat really quick before I go to them. I'll just say it really quick before I forget it. Yeah, no, the thought is, oh, she got brainwashed as a soldier now, she doesn't really have a personality. But that's a dumb take. I think that's a bad move.
No, that's exactly what happened. But I wish that because we already know that she got powers, and it's so obvious that Jude Law and everybody else are the actual villains. It's so fucking obvious.
Yeah.
And then they reveal it like halfway through the movie, and I'm just like, I don't understand. Like they didn't need to reveal that they're the villains in the beginning. They could have showed the beginning where she was like a test pilot, and she helped what's her name, the actual Marvel.
Sure.
And they didn't need to show that it was Jude Law that was the villain. They could have just showed all that stuff, saving it for later as a revelation. Like, oh, he's the bad guy, even though fucking it was so obvious. Anytime Jude Law's in a movie, he's the villain. It's just like I don't know. He's like Mark Strong. Whenever Mark Strong's in a movie, unless it's Kingsman, he's the villain.
So I have some other notes down here, but the chat. Let's see. Crazy Ape Pepperoni says didn't like Captain Marvel that much. My mom liked it, but it's a C or B. And then he says love the Skrulls though.
Skrulls are cool. Yeah.
Jam says
Ben Mendelsohn was great.
Jam says it was all right. It felt like they pushed the quote, "Oh, I'm a girl. You think I can do it because I'm a girl?" Unquote. No, it's because you're the least experienced on the whole team. And then Greaser Flash says, I really want to like the movie, but it's a C for me. Sam Jackson and Ben Mendelsohn were great, though. That's actually right.
I feel shitty saying that, but they were the best parts of it, and I feel shitty because it's supposed to be like woman empowerment movie, and my favorite two characters were the men.
Well, Sam Jackson is fine, just because he has experience playing that role, and I feel like he knew what he was getting into, right?
That effect was great, and also Ben Mendelsohn is always the villain in every movie ever in the history of humans. He's always the villain.
No. The HBO show that just came out, he was the hero.
The Outsider. Okay, that's true.
Yeah.
I never watched that though. So thanks for
spoiling
very good. No, I'm just kidding.
He was going in expecting him.
I was going to expect him to be the villain, but no. That's true. Movie
again, I want to point out, just like Black Panther though, is I do get the importance of where it was and who's into it, because like I said, even following this, I've seen so many little girls rocking that Captain Marvel costume, but I think conversely, I think a movie like Wonder Woman just did it so much better.
Yeah, and you know what? A movie that did it better.
Alita Battle Angel.
Alita Battle Angel. I don't think Matt, you didn't like that movie, right?
Not really. No. That movie was ugly. Those the effects and models to me. I don't know. But.
Yeah, I liked it, but I like that movie just did it better with the character, because it's not in your face. It's just like she's badass and she doesn't know who she is either. It's like the same story almost. Like, oh, she has amnesia. She's
because some of it is heavy handed. I think what was it? They hit the jukebox.
I'm just a girl.
Yeah.
It's like
it's a little heavy handed. They need to just chill on it. But again,
it's only a little heavy handed compared to the Cena Endgame.
Sure.
Which we'll talk about. I'm sure we'll have an argument about.
But yeah, I think it's solid C. It felt like a C. It felt like a Phase 1 movie, honestly.
Yeah.
And I thought that, I didn't think that going in. Like after I watched it, I was like, no, that's at least Phase 2. And rewatching Phase 2 again, I'm like, no, that's definitely Phase 1.
Yeah. That being said, I still liked the humor was still decent in it, and there's some cute moments like with her friend's daughter.
The Florkin? The cat?
The Flork. Yeah, I didn't like him actually. I didn't like that cat. I thought he was a little shithead, honestly. And also I hate what they did with fucking how he got his eye. It's fucking stupid cat. I'm like,
because it was the most obvious thing in the face of the planet. They were hyping it up.
They thought that, and they were like, you know what, everybody's gonna guess that. We shouldn't do that, but also maybe we should, because they might think, oh, it's
they're trying to reverse, do some weird gymnastics, but they're like, no. Because yeah, you see him play with the cat, you're like, oh, he's gonna get his. No, I think we even saw the trailers. We're like, oh, that cat's gonna scratch out Nick Fury's eye.
Yeah, you see the cat, and he's like holding the cat. At one
Yeah,
point,
you're like, no, he's getting the eye scratched
yeah.
up.
Yeah.
All right,
exactly.
C for me. C from you guys too.
I didn't see it.
Oh yeah,
he didn't see it. I'm gonna say C. It was just really disappointing because I thought the trailer the first trailer was meh, but the second trailer I remember was like, oh, it's cool. It's cool.
Right in the middle, I think.
Yeah, that's good.
Jam says it felt like how Iron Man 2 was.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
All right, Endgame. Wrapping this up.
All right,
Endgame. And I think Endgame was awesome. It's my second favorite in the whole saga. I loved the endings for Cap and Tony, who are really the only two I care that much about, to be honest. As
Ant-Man?
I mean, I like Ant-Man. Like, I like Thor.
Not after Ant-Man and the Wasp. He was like, no,
that movie sucked. But to me, it's about Captain America and Iron Man are like the two staples for me. And I thought it closed out both of their sagas very well. I think when Cap picked up that hammer, that's like a top movie moment of all time.
Oh yeah.
That you saw it pick up, and you're like, "No, it's happening."
It was a moment, and then when he fucking lifted up and he shot lightning at Thanos, is when I shot jizz out my pants.
Oh, that, and he's doing combos with the shield as if he knew what he's doing. Like he knew in his head. He's like, one day I'm gonna pick up this hammer and he kill some giant alien fuck. So let me learn some combos for this right now. But I swear. Go for it first.
No, I was gonna say, I swear when in Age of Ultron when he was lifting the hammer up and it like moved a little bit, I swear I said this in like a video or something. I'm like, dude, he could totally pick that up, but he didn't want to embarrass Thor in front of his fucking face. And then in game, that's pretty much what Thor's even like, yeah, I fucking knew it.
No, I didn't talk about that too. They're like, yeah, no, he could have.
Yeah, he could have.
Cap just did the Mario jump with the hammer. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And then dude, and then I felt like it was a wave of tension just got released on every MCU fan when they finally got the Avengers Assemble scene. When he said it, you knew it was gonna happen. Everything is building up.
Feige came all over everybody.
That's it. Yeah, he did that to us. Yeah. Just everything's going off all cylinders. You know, we knew what was gonna happen. We knew everyone was coming back. But I actually like the way they paced it out. It was actually really well done. Where you knew everyone came back, but you forgot about it because everything was like going so crazy all of a sudden. And you see Cap there. You know it's his last movie. Like you know it's gonna end. You see him like standing there with the whole army. You're like, oh fuck, I think he's gonna die right here.
Avengers.
And then you just hear on your left a call back. Everyone's coming out. Everyone comes out. And then there's Giant Man saving Hulk and Rocket. I'm like,
yeah. You want more? And then fucking Giant Man, I'm like, hell yeah, clear bitch.
And then the music starts kicking in, and you see Iron Man or you see Captain just look back pissed at Thanos, like, all right. And then the assemble scene, and you're like, all right, that was the wave of tension. Like, all right, I waited a couple years for that. All right.
Yeah, it's good shit.
So good. And then everything else about that I think is really well done. I like seeing like what the ramifications. I like that we kind of got a quick end to the first Thanos. You know, like that was abrupt. Like, shit.
Yeah. When Thor just said, "Fuck this guy," is that the first time we see a straight up beheading in one of these movies?
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah, hell yeah. We need more of that.
What happened? I went for the head, and everyone laughs, but everyone's like, Well,
I didn't laugh. I was like, technically, you went for the neck.
So I should have sliced right down here. That would went for the head.
Right on his forehead, just fucking. His forehead just flies off.
And the marketing really kind of like threw you off because like you weren't ready for that 5 years later jump. Like you're like, oh shit,
no,
that's a big jump.
Pretty big.
But yeah, no. And then the whole movie, getting everyone back, kind of getting everyone the morale back, I think was really big too. You know.
Yeah.
Let's see some of the comments in here. Let's see. Enjoy Infinity War more, especially how Thanos wasn't the same Thanos, but still amazing follow up. High Ace as Green Super Flash. Jam says it's head up a lot during the whole thing, like Tony getting the time with him and his forgiving father. There's the whole time with Iron Man and Cap time travel team was such a great team. For the time travel. I like they went back and repented for Dark World. They said, all right, let's give Dark World a little bit of love, just so like you don't hate that movie forever. I love the re-entry into Guardians where you just had idiot ass Star-Lord dancing around. You hear him badly singing.
I don't understand. Is Don Cheadle's character all he is just the guy that makes one-liner jokes where he just makes fun of people? Yeah. That's like I don't understand what made Star-Lord an idiot there. Because he's dancing?
Yeah.
Cheadle. I guess Don Cheadle looked like a fucking idiot when he fell down on the ground.
What's he always do? Just fall?
He got shot. Yeah, we fucking idiot.
I did.
You have a flying suit and you're falling.
We didn't bring it up, but I love his line in Infinity War where Bruce Banner's meeting T'Challa for the first time, and he's like, "Go bow," and he bows, and he's like, "We don't do that here." He's like,
"Idiot." He's like, "What the fuck?" Yeah, that's pretty good. That's good troll stuff.
Yeah.
He's just a troll. That's it.
Oh, also, Doctor Strange, we got a beheading at the beginning.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. You don't really see it that much. That's true though. Yeah, I do remember that. That's true.
Oh yeah, there you go. That's one of my favorite lines. Hey man, are you saying Back to the Future was a bunch of bullshit?
Yeah. Oh, I love when they're like talking about fucking time travel movies and they just says Die Hard. It's like, wait, no, that's not one. I love that.
It was that, but also Ant-Man was
Hot Tub Time Machine they reference. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
The highest grossing movie ever references Hot Tub Time Machine.
I love how even Thor is recounting Dark World and Ant-Man, so they're like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah, right.
I love Ant-Man. If it's not obvious enough.
Yeah, he's great.
That man got a lot of his much dues in that movie, because I know a lot of people that loved him after Endgame. I'm like, good, you understand?
Yeah. I feel like Civil War was like the first time where people actually gave a shit a little bit, because he pretty much stole that movie, really, for the last half.
For sure,
everybody's like Spider-Man, but like everybody was laughing at the Ant-Man shit. Like Spider-Man was cute, but whatever.
But yeah, and then the final scene.
Awesome. I'm gonna go S tier, boys.
I only have one problem with it, and then it's not the girl power part. That one I can forgive. It's just, again, like with Infinity War, I think there's too many scenes where like something dramatic happens, like Black Widow sacrifices herself, and then something funny happens right after. I feel like there should be way more.
They need to learn how to pace.
I feel like when Black Widow dies, there should be no more humor. Honestly, it should be all serious. One of the main ones is dead. No more jokes. And actually, when Rocket Raccoon did the fake explosion, I wish someone said like, "Hey man, I ain't fucking cool." And then that was when he did the, and then they did the Cheese Whiz thing, which I still found funny. But
yeah,
this is serious now.
I agree. I think someone should. That would have been a nice way to pace out how different things were. We're like, hey, too soon.
And also, this is more of a thing I just want more of, and it's not really a fault of the movie. I wanted more Ronin. I wanted more of him being a samurai.
We got a TV show coming,
or I guess not samurai if he's Ronin. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, I mean, we might see more of that. Yeah, that would make more sense if we saw that, because I mean, it's a TV show. They don't want to spend too much money. So samurai shit.
Jam says, yeah, he says, I hear me out. The whole D+ show with Clinton during the 5 years would have been sick as fuck. Crazy Horse says,
almost cried. Oh yeah. If that's what it's about, that'd be amazing.
That is what it's about, isn't it?
Is it? I thought it was.
I'm sure it's probably. I'm sure it's probably a lead up into it.
I don't know if they confirmed it, but I thought they said it was going to take place like after Endgame.
I thought so too. Like, I'm sure they could probably,
because it's got Kate Bishop in it. Yeah. So I guess that could happen in between. I guess.
A Peroni says, I almost cried at the funeral scene, but I'm a man. And then Jam says, Iron Man death.
I don't cry as shit.
Iron Man death had zero humor afterwards. And they had a little bit. They had a little bit post.
It did, because then Thor showed up. He was like, "I'm fat" or whatever. He said something.
No, he had that. He had on the Guardian ship.
The Guardians of the the Asgardians of the Galaxy.
You're the captain. You're the captain.
I'm the captain. I mean, to be fair, those characters don't really. Besides Thor, nobody really gives a shit about Iron Man. There, Star-Lord probably didn't like him at all, everybody else is like whatever.
There's so many little callbacks in the fight. So like Green Survive talks about when Spidey met up with Tony in the battle. He's like, "Hey, Mr. Stark, everything was crazy." That was cool.
Yeah, but then he hugged him. I was like, "That's great."
Instant kill mode was cool. I loved the most subtle callback was when Hawkeye had the gauntlet and then Black Panther says, "Hey, give it to me," or Clint, give it to me.
Give it to me, Clint, because he said his name and
he's like, "I don't care."
I don't care.
Yeah, dude, it's a lot. But overall, no, I enjoyed it. I'll put S.
Very much enjoyed it.
That's fine.
All right, so it's an S anyway. So.
All right, final one, and then we're out of here.
All right, Far From. We could do this one quick. Okay, the villain's great. Jake Gyllenhaal's great. I like that in the first half. He's this really goofy, like stereotypical hero. His acting is actually technically kind of bad in the first half, but it's actually supposed to be kind of bad. And then in the last half, he becomes, obviously, this is spoilers by the way, he becomes the actual Mysterio that everybody expected him to be. Tom Holland is better in this one. I think the relationship between him and Zendaya is a little bit better than the one with him.
More refined.
Than whoever the girl was in the last one. And the action's fun, the special effects are fine. I like the Rome setting. It was a fun movie. B. There you go. Done.
I love the intro though.
My same core problems with Homecoming exist in this one, that being like my issue with his character as a whole, but I think it's better than Homecoming. I do like Jake Gyllenhaal in it. If I gave I said maybe a high C for this one.
Okay. Well, you gave the other one a D, right?
Yeah.
Jam goes, okay, how the fuck did no one notice Peter was Spider-Man? All I did was put on a party mask and swing around the whole plaza.
Yeah. I mean, you have to suspend your disbelief for a movie where, like, in a movie universe where there's a pink dude with a gauntlet that when he snaps his fingers, it makes everybody.
I love that. The high school thing though coming back was so funny though.
Oh, that was great. I love that scene where just people. It made me think. And I'm sure everybody else thought this too. But like, what happens if people were like flying in an airplane
or something?
Point?
Yeah,
I
think what was
dead.
it? Someone. I think one of the Russo brothers. Someone said, "I'll Hulk imagine them back like safely." So that's a little cop-out answer, but I love the idea. Just like, oh,
yeah. While he's snapping finger, he's like, "I want to bring everybody back, especially people that were in planes or buildings that are destroyed right now, and they're safe."
Some like former spouse ends up in the room where the new spouse is never fucking.
Where they're fucking. she's getting just fucking wrecked too.
by his brother.
Oh no.
His brother's fucking his wife.
Why are you pointing this? I hate when you do that.
That'd be me in the theater. So laughing at the guy. You got Dusty cucked. That's fine. That's
Dusty.
Because he got dusted.
Matt, what's your ranking on this?
I said high C.
I see. I'll put it in low B.
Okay, so it's a B. Somewhere like right there, perfect. I think that's good.
There you go.
All right, there you go. That's the official one. Don't fucking copy.
That's copyrighted.
Have different opinions. You can't say Winter Soldier or Endgame is an S.
All right.
It's ours.
So if you like the Ranksters, we appreciate you. Give us that like. We're gonna record. This should be up. We'll record Blue Rubies Thursday as usual. Halo stream happens on Sunday. Crazy Pony Chess is good list, honestly. Hell yeah, it might be one of the only lists I think people might be okay with because I know there's always some.
Yeah, you know why?
Because David's not here.
Because David's not here. And it was also only 2.5 hours instead of 5.5 hours because David wasn't here. Where he's just like, all right, let me explain my life story before I talk about Infinity War. Like, oh fuck.
Let me tell you about where I was in life.
Yeah, see, I was just like, I came off a bad relationship. I'm like, I don't fucking care. Shut up. Shut the fuck up. Shut up. Shut up. Jesus Christ.
We love David.
I can't stand him. I can't stand that guy.
You sent him a PS5, though.
I know.
All right.
It's a bribe so you'll never talk to me again.
All right. Appreciate you guys for watching.
Yeah, I guess. No, I'm just kidding.